Bonjour everyone, I'm your humble French tarot reader Marine, and today I'm super excited to be doing our summer 2025 reading for all of the zodiac signs. This is going to be your reading for June, July, and August. So I've called it summer because most of you guys watching me are in the northern hemisphere, but I am actually based in the southern hemisphere. So if some of you are like me, just know I'm basing this off June, July, and August. As you can see, I've got some tarot decks, some oracle decks. So we're going to be putting some cards for each of my zodiac signs in the description box. You're going to find timestamps so you can navigate between all of the signs. I encourage you to check out your sun, moon, and rising sign so that you can get the most complete reading for you. This is kind of an a la carte menu. So as always, you do you, boo. I encourage you to follow your intuition. And as usual, if you are curious about any of the decks I'm going to be using, all the names are going to be in the description box. Down there, you will also find the link to my second channel, The Waves of Your Soul, where I share with you my passion for tarot, oracle, and books, as well as all of my other social media links. And of course, if this reading brings you anything of value, I encourage you to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work, and I really appreciate the exchange of energies. So without further ado, let's get into our summer 2025, July, June, and August tarot and oracle reading. Let's go. Okay, my Aries, sun, moon, or rising, this is gonna be the reading for you for June, July, and August, so either summer or winter, whether you are in the northern or southern hemisphere. Because the majority of my viewers are in the summer, I've chosen kind of summary decks, but again, it doesn't matter where you guys are based. What matters is the message from the cards, and we're gonna start by looking at the energies of the next 3 months for my Aries. What are the vibes of these months? What are the energies for us? As I'm a fellow Aries sun myself, so I'm excited to see what the universe has in store for us little rams. Let's see. We have, this energy. We have the wheel with transformation. Okay, and we have, control. Very interesting. For my Aries, my fellow rams, we have the idea of energy, electricity, inspiration here with this card. This is going to be a moment where creativity could be at a peak. There could be more energy than usual, more inner fire than usual. You might feel more inspired to do things. You might feel more inspired to create. You might be getting light bulb moments. You might be getting these burst of inspiration, spark between you and someone else. In a romantic sense, in a friendship sense, you could just feel that spark of wow, I really get on with you. We click. There's something there that feels like almost on a soul level, on a vibe, like there's that spark. It could be you getting bursts of inspiration to start new projects, to go off and do something exciting, to feel inspired again, to feel creative again, to get excited about following a certain passion. We have inspiration, creativity, and a sense of spark. We love that. So one of the big themes, and let me try and not burn my card. That would be good. Yeah, that would be good. Okay. Second card, we have the idea of transformation, right? We go from this little almost caterpillar to a butterfly with a wheel. So again, if I link that to the spark, we could have a desire from my fellow ram to initiate change, initiate a sense of personal transformation, of personal evolution. Maybe my fellow rams in the next 3 months are going to be on a physical health journey. Maybe you're going to be on a journey to change the way you dress, go to the hairdresser, get a new look. Potentially, it could be an external transformation of wanting to present yourself to the world in a completely different way, of deciding to, adopt a new look, adopt a new attitude, something like that. Or it could be an inner transformation where you decide to take on a new sense of identity, take on a new habit, take on a new version of yourself, adopt a new skin, if I can say that. I would not be surprised if my Aries feel called to initiate a sense of change, personal change, whether that's, again, how you present yourself into the world or how you behave. So potentially we could have people who decide to, again, go on a certain physical health journey, feeling called to pay attention to their health, decide to move their body more, spend more time outside. There could be some people who decide to really take a course because they really want to get back into studying something, learn something new, deciding to procrastinate procrastinate less and use the summer to tackle some project and do something that they've been postponing for ages. There's definitely a sense of personal transformation and of embracing a new identity for my Aries, which is coming from this particular spark, this inspiration, and we love that. Although, the one thing we have to pay attention to though is this card of control. You see this little remote trying to control the person. So this is a little warning sign for us to pay attention to who or what is controlling us this summer. Are we on a quest for change because we feel it internally? We feel called to follow this passion project, we feel called to do this thing, we feel called to go after that particular relationship, or we feel called to go after this goal, etc. Or do we feel tied and controlled by someone else or something else? So I'm going to give an example. Let's say you are on a quest to start your online presence, you want to start your TikTok account, you feel super excited, you want to talk about something you love, start going after this goal of creating your TikTok account, posting videos, feeling excited, you feel the creativity, the inspiration, there's a sense of transformation there because finally you're following your passion, you're sharing about a subject you love, finding community, but potentially instead of rejoicing in the fact that you are doing something you love and finding the people that match with your vibe and all of that, you might be tied down and being controlled by likes, views, and letting the algorithm or the views or popularity and all of that control you instead of letting your passion and your joy be at the center of your project. So this is a little warning sign. Pay attention to who or what may be controlling you this summer. Pay attention to potentially habits, situations, relationships that feel like they are draining you. This could be a little bit of a temperance kind of encouragement. Like we might be encouraged to install some balance. We know that as Aries, we have the tendency to be all in, to be very we go for things fully. This might be a summer where we're invited to pace ourselves, to invite some temperance, to balance our commitment with rest or to balance our activity. We're going to see what the cards give, but this is an important little warning sign. Pay attention to who or what may have control over you this summer. And if you don't like that particular power over you, then it might be some time for cord cutting or distancing or resting, taking care of yourself and all of that. Okay, let's have a look at some pre-pulled oracle cards and then we're going to look at tarot for some advice. So our oracle cards for Aries were our animal for the month. We have the bee, which is linked to power. I love that. So again, right, for me, this is linked to the sense of creativity, inspiration. My Aries could feel called to work, right? Bee is also linked to this idea of working, of hard work. So maybe this summer, or at least like June, July, August, my Aries might feel called to pour a lot of energy, pour a lot of work, not necessarily career. It could be a lot of work in your, again, physical health journey, passion projects, your family life, whatever it may be. But I sense you being committed to pour some effort and to really want to get some stuff done, my Aries. So pay attention to the bee, how the bee symbolism shows up for you in the next 3 months. It's important. And she's there as a animal guide to help you throughout the next 3 months. So we love that. We have our guardian for the month. So this is a god, goddess, a divine guardian. We're going to see for the months we have Mau Lisa. Beautiful. So this is a West African deity. It's actually a non-binary deity. So if I have any non-binary Aries, this is a great deity that you can work with. Particular deity you can see is half feminine, half masculine. And so it represents this idea of balance, which we talked about. We talked about this idea of needing potentially to install some temperance and balance as there might be some energies or people trying to impose control over us. And it might be time to pay attention to those energies. This particular deity is inviting us to invite peace, invite the sense of equilibrium, moderation, peacekeeping for us in this summer. So it's going to be the summer where we are invited to pay attention to our nervous system. We are invited to not add fuel to the fire, which I know, again, sometimes with Aries, we can be quite fiery, but maybe this summer we're invited to tame that fire a little bit. Maybe trying to consider everyone's point of view, making a balanced and fair assessment before we go full into a certain situation, and also pay attention to other people's egos, dramas, and toxic kind of attitudes, and stay away from them, right? I really feel like my Aries will not be initiators of drama this particular next 3 months, but you could be surrounded by some people or some situation that feel very energy sapping and feel a little bit draining. So if that's the case, remove yourself. You've got stuff to do. You've got your personal evolution. You've got your goals. You've got creativity. You're working on stuff. You don't have time for toxic people and toxic energy. So if you're struggling with that, you can work with this particular deity to bring some harmony, to calm your nervous system. This can be a great guide and a guardian for that, right? Pay attention to your well-being this summer, and potentially also an invitation to balance our feminine and our masculine side, as like I said, this particular deity is a non-binary in essence. Beautiful energies. Finally, the crystal for my Aries, and then we'll pull some advice through tarot. So the crystal for my Rams, look, we have turquoise and against balance. So again, we're invited to nurture harmony, invited to nurture balance. We're really invited, my fellow Aries, to not let ourselves get pulled into other people's drama, draining energy. We're invited to focus on our stuff, work on what we want to create, focus on our inspiration, focus on our personal evolution, and remove ourselves from anything or anyone who's trying to get control over us or trying to sap our energy. Super important message from my Aries, okay? We're invited to really stay in our lane, invite equilibrium and balance, and remove ourselves from anything that's trying to drain us or trying to like really affect our well-being and a sense of balance in our life. Let's pull some tarot cards, see if we have any advice to wrap up the reading for this summer. Any advice from my Aries? What do we have? We have the Magician. Truly this summer, my Aries, if you want to achieve anything, this is a summer to do it. If you have a passion project, if you have some travel plans, if you have a goal, a personal project, anything like that, something you really want to put energy towards, it's going to be a great time to do that. You'll have the energy, you'll have the power to do that, as long, again, as you don't let other people drain your energy, as long as you don't get caught up in other people's drama, in other people's like problems. Focus on what it is you want to create, my Aries, because I have a feeling a lot of you have a goal this summer, whether again it's a physical health goal, whether it's a personal goal, a career goal, a finance goal, family goal, relationship goal, whatever it is. You guys are working on something related to inspiration, personal development, and you're really encouraged to focus on that because there could be great results. I love that. Let's see what else. Look, Four of Wands could be a great moment as well for the next 3 months for celebrations. We could have birthdays, weddings, anniversaries, family reunions. We could have friend trips, people reuniting, having a good time. So if you have any trips, any travels, especially with friends or family, this is a great sign that there's going to be opportunities for you to create beautiful memories, have a good time, enjoy yourself. If you've been thinking about booking a trip with friends or doing something fun with your partner or anything like that, this is a yes. If you've been thinking about organizing a reunion, a gathering, a celebration of some kind, joining an event, this is a big yes. So I love that. Big focus on celebration and on community. And finally, 10 of Wands. So again, a little bit of a warning sign of remembering to not take on other people's shit, to stay away from things or people who are trying to drain you. Focus on your lane, my Aries. Focus on your joy. Focus on what it is you want to achieve. Don't take on too much. Take care of yourself. You've got the bee, right? Hard worker. We love that. But also remember, the bees are not on their own. They always can rely on their on the rest of their community to help them. This is also a little message of saying you don't have to do it all yourself. Pay attention to your well-being this summer. Take care of yourself. Don't burn the candle at both ends this summer, but overall I see opportunities for a great next 3 months for my Aries. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Queen of Swords inviting us to speak our truth, to be honest, to be clear, to really not hesitate to communicate, share our ideas, be vocal, as well as asserting yourself. So if any of you have been thinking about doing anything related to communication, speaking clear, asserting boundaries or anything like that, she's going to be a great guide for you to help you do that this summer. Okay, and little side note, but I'm seeing Libra here, so if some of you have Libra friends or Libra family members, this could be a great time to spend time with them, do something fun with them. Maybe you have a Libra partner or something like that. I see my Aries hanging out with Libras this summer, so if that speaks to you guys, let me know in the comments. We're gonna wrap things up by pulling a little mantra for my Aries. Your mantra for the next 3 months, your mantra for June, July, August. What is a mantra for my fellow Rams? We have, I can be sympathetic without being consumed by struggles that are not mine to carry. You guys, if this is not the whole summary of everything we've talked about, I can't make this shit up. This is exactly what we've talked about. You can be kind, you can be empathetic, but you don't have to carry what's not yours. Focus on yourself, focus on your own journey. Don't get dragged by other people's problems. You've got stuff to manifest, you've got things to create, and you have places to be, celebrations to have. So I love that. This is your mantra for the next 3 months. Summary of the reading, my Aries. Okay, I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought you something of value. Again, don't hesitate to check out your sun, moon, and rising. Make sure to subscribe if you're not yet subscribed. If you enjoyed the reading, you can like, comment. It's all free ways to support my work, and it really helps out the channel. And until next time, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be the reading for you. We're going to start by pulling some oracle cards to give us the energies, and then we'll pull some tarot. So let's see for my Taurus, sun, moon, or rising, what are the energies? My moon is in Taurus, so I'm excited to see what the universe has in store for us. Let's see. The energies for my Taurus, sun, moon, or rising for the next 3 months. Beautiful. We have the inner child with creativity. Okay, interesting. Lots of hands. We have also a sense of feeling a little bit stuck, as you can see, with this particular lock here. And we have the friend card or the help card. Okay, I see where this is going. My Tauruses, there could be a desire for freedom the next 3 months, a desire for fun, a desire to embrace your inner child, a desire to be more creative, to have more fun. And yet there are circumstances which may feel like they are stopping you from fully enjoying yourself. So I don't know, maybe some of you guys haven't been able to go on the holiday you want, you didn't get your holidays approved, or maybe you're lacking the finances to book the trip you wanted to take, or maybe you have some family obligations or work obligations that are kind of like putting a damper a little bit on the summer you had planned. I see you guys craving freedom, craving a sense of liberty, of creativity, of fun specifically, and I see certain circumstances dampening that a little bit and making some of my Taurus feel a little bit stuck, right? However, there is help on the way. We have this beautiful card, one of my favorite cards of this deck, with this little mouse being held by the turtle to cross the river. How cute is that? So this is a sign of help, of being surrounded by people who support you, and of finding help in unexpected places. So while there might be circumstances that make my Tauruses feel a little bit stuck, like I said, maybe you have obligations at work that mean that you can't take as long off as you want, or maybe you have you had plans to do something with your kids and then they get sick, so you can't do, for example, what you had planned, or just day-to-day life things that happen that put a dampen on plans, things like that. There is definitely a big help here. So this is the most encouraging part of the reading, meaning that you'll find support, you'll find help, regardless of the situation you're facing. So let's say, for a very day-to-day example, but let's say you had planned to send your kids to a certain camp, and then something happens and actually they can't go, except you have to work. So you're thinking, okay, what am I going to be doing? I have to find someone to take care of my kids. Well, surprise, one of your friends comes through, they're going to take care of them, or parents or grandparents or neighbors or friends of friends, whatever. There's going to be help, something surprising there to be like, you know what, we'll take care of them, don't worry, we'll take them with us, or we'll like take care of them while you are at work, don't worry, we got you. There's a sense here of the universe showing up and providing a sense of support to help you out of this situation that makes you feel stuck. I'm giving this example of kids because it's very day-to-day, but it could be about anything, right? There's really a sense of help, support coming through for my Tauruses. There's definitely going to be a little bit of resilience needed this summer for my Tauruses. If you face a sense of, you face certain things that don't go your way. So that's interesting to know. There is a big invitation on trying to have fun here, on trying to play, and on trying to tap into your inner child this summer, however way you can, however way you guys like to tap into that playful side, whether it's you reconnecting with activities you enjoyed doing as a child, whether it's you spending time with children, whether it's you, having a day out and going to watch a fun movie, or going to the theme park, whatever you guys like to do for fun. There's an invitation to make time for that this summer. It's important for my Tauruses to tap into this joyful, whimsical, childlike side of yourself. And again, if you face situations that feel a little bit like it's making you face a wall. I want you to take heart in knowing there's help on the way. You're going to be surprised that there's going to be people or situations coming through for you. So I love that. Okay, let's check out your oracle cards for the next 3 months. I've pre-pulled a couple. We're going to discover them together. So your animal for the next 3 months, my Tauruses, we have the fox, which is linked to solitude. So some of my Tauruses might feel called to spend a little bit more time alone. You might be having a little bit of a hermit summer, which is totally fine. You might feel called to do things on your own, take yourself on a date, spend time in quiet introspection. For me, the fox is very much linked to hermit vibes, and we are in year 9, which is a hermit year in tarot energetically. So that makes a lot of sense. You might feel more called for introspection, solitude, reflection, spending time on your own, spending time in quiet contemplation. This could be not a very loud and busy summer. It might be the kind of summer where you want to prioritize activities and days where you can nurture contemplation, do things on spend time with yourself, get to know yourself and all of that. And the fox is your animal guide for the next 3 months. So pay attention to that. Pay attention to the ways it shows up in your life, as it could be a little signs from the universe. Okay, so your divine guardian for the next 3 months. So God, goddess, guardian, who is watching over my Taurus for the next 3 months. Ooh, we have Rhiannon and look, inner strength. So I told you about resilience. I told you about needing to take heart when things don't go your way, when you have to be resilient, when you have to face a certain wall, when you have to face a certain challenge or feel a little bit stuck. Take heart. You've got Rhiannon as your guardian. She's inviting you to pour into resilience, inviting you to ask for help. She's inviting you to tap into your inner resilience. She's reminding you of your strengths, and she's a beautiful goddess to work with this concept of resilience, of inner strength. We have the horse here, so the horse could also be an important animal for my Taurus. Spending time near horses, seeing horses, maybe riding your horse this summer. That might be something that you guys have planned. And this is a Welsh goddess, so maybe that is also something important for you guys. Celtic mythology, anything like that, that might be also something important or of relevance for my Tauruses. Rhiannon invites you to tap into your sense of empowerment. She's reminding you to take heart and to remember your sovereignty and your greatness, my Tauruses, okay? So if you feel a little bit defeated at some point this summer, you can work with Rhiannon, ask for her guidance and help, and she can help you tap into that inner strength. Beautiful. Your crystal for the next 3 months, my Tauruses. Look, we have spirit quartz linked to patience. So for any of you who like to work with crystal, this is a stone that could help you at this moment in time, maybe meditating with the energy of this crystal. So my Tauruses, for the next 3 months, what do we have? Look, 5 of Pentacles. Yeah, there's going to be a situation or a feeling at some point this summer that makes my Tauruses feel a little bit defeated, feel like they're facing a tough time. Again, remember, you're not on your own. There's help on the way. I really see that. You have inner strength with Rhiannon. You have the help card, which is really important in this deck, meaning that there's help on the other side, right? This particular person is not on their own. They are accompanied. So whilst it can be a time that is not necessarily fun to go through, there is definitely support there, and you're not on your own. And there's a really big emphasis on asking for help this summer if you need it, my Tauruses, okay? Let's see what else. Look, the world. There's also a sense of achievement on the other side of that. So potentially at the other side of this challenge, there's really a sense of fulfillment of like, wow, I did that. I faced that struggle and I did that. Finally, I can relax. Finally, I can chill. Finally, I can breathe. Yeah, it was difficult. Yeah, I struggled. Yeah, I really had to push through to challenge myself. But on the other side of that, finally, I can breathe. I've achieved what I wanted. I've faced this challenge, and I can finally relax, breathe, and enjoy myself. So this challenging situation will definitely not last the whole summer, and I really see you guys pulling through, and I see you guys feeling really proud of yourself for getting through it. There's a sense of personal pride here, of personal achievement, of like, you know what, I did that, I surprised myself, I challenged myself, and I'm really proud of this personal evolution and of the way I handled this situation. So I want you to take heart in that as well, and I think that's really beautiful. And let's see what else we have for my Tauruses. 5 of Wands. Okay, we have the 5 of Wands inviting my Tauruses to not get too caught up in any kind of drama, any kind of arguments. Remember, you have the fox inviting for solitude, for spending time on your own. So if people around you are trying to drag you into their drama, drag you into their toxic problems or anything like that, you're invited to step away. I had the exact same thing with my Aries, so it's interesting really this summer for my Aries and my Taurus so far. It's an invitation to nurture inner peace, cultivate your sense of peace, and not let other people drain your energy or drag you into arguments and disagreements that are really not yours. Invitation to put some boundaries there and to prioritize your inner peace, my Tauruses. And finally, look, we have the Hermit. We've talked about it. We had, solitude and all of that. It's a hermit kind of summer for my Tauruses. I see you guys enjoying spending time on your own or with a little community. I see you guys enjoying doing things that are more like nurturing in terms of nurturing your inner peace. This is giving like Hobbit kind of summer of reading a nice book, enjoying walks in nature, enjoying silence, the sound of nature, enjoying quiet contemplation, enjoying time, getting to know yourself, doing things for you, prioritizing a sense of inner exploration. And I see my Tauruses really thriving, spending time doing things that they like, spending time on their own, doing things that they enjoy. And I think that's really beautiful. So I hope this reading brought you something of value. Oh, I forgot to pull a little mantra for my Tauruses. So let's do that. Little mantra for my Taurus. What do we have for the next 3 months? We have, I will be gentle with myself. How gorgeous is that? I love that. That's your mantra for the next 3 months, my Tauruses. Remember to be gentle with yourself. I see you pushing through whatever challenge it is you're going to face. You're going to push through and you're going to feel really proud at the end of it. Prioritize spending time on your own, doing things that you enjoy. Remember there's support there, and on the other side of that, there's really a sense of achievement. So my Tauruses, I hope this reading brought you something of value. I hope it resonated. Of course, you can like, comment, and subscribe. Those are all free ways to support my work, and I really appreciate anyone who takes the time to do that. Until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, welcome to your reading. First of all, I want to wish you a beautiful birthday season. As at the time of me filming, we've just started Gemini season, so I want to wish you a gorgeous birthday season, and we're going to see what the universe has in store for my Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising for the next 3 months, so June, July, and August. Again, regardless of whether you live in the northern or southern hemisphere, I called it summer because it's a little bit easier. And we're gonna start by looking at the vibes, looking at the energies of the next 3 months for my Gemini. So let's see. For June, July, and August, for my Gemini, Sun, Moon, or Rising, what are the vibes? What are the energies? What do we need to know? Okay, gorgeous. Yep, very Gemini so far. I'll tell you what I'm picking up. Okay, so have for my Gemini this beautiful tunnel, this idea of coming out of a tunnel. We have linking the dots, making connections, and we have the anchor, giving a sense of groundedness. Picking up for my Gemini, it's gonna be really a time where you guys might feel, first of all, a sense of relief. If any of you have been facing a certain heaviness, difficult situations, or anything like that, really the next 3 months are giving a sense of much lighter energy. We do have the idea of you reaching the end of a tunnel and finding the light, right? Of finally reaching the end of a tunnel, reaching the end of a dark time and seeing the light after some challenging time. So maybe the beginning of the year wasn't fun for my Geminis. You might have faced some challenges, difficult situations. Like I said, I feel the next 3 months being a lot easier and lighter in terms of energies. So we love that. We do have the core of your reading, this sense of connecting the dots. My Geminis could feel particularly stimulating intellectually this next 3 months. I mean, when are you guys not mentally stimulated? I mean, you guys are always onto a new idea, exploring new things. You're very quick in terms of very quick, very smart, but especially this summer, I would not be surprised if you guys have a particular project, a particular intention, a particular plan that requires you to use your brain in some form or another. So I could have people who want to take a course, learn something new. I could have people who are on a quest to write a book, to potentially work on a certain project, and who are trying to, like I said here, connect the dots. I'm seeing people sitting at their computer working on something, but it's something that's related to passion project. It's not necessarily something that is related to career. If it is career, it's something that excites you. It's a new project or it's a passion project. Maybe you guys are launching your business, you're creating your website. I don't know, like I said, writing a book, but I see you guys really feeling excited about working on something. I see in my mind's eye something behind their computer. They're writing on something, they're feeling stimulated mentally, intellectually, they're learning new things, and it's feeling very exciting, which is great. So I can't wait to read your comments and find out what it is you guys are thinking about working on, or if you're taking a course or anything like that, let me know. And we do have, with this sense of anchor, a desire to potentially anchor yourself this next 3 months. So maybe my Geminis are not feeling super cold to travel a lot this year, or at least this next 3 months. You might feel more inclined to spend time at home. And with this anchor, I see a desire to ground yourself in the next 3 months. So I could have my Geminis making more of an effort to potentially spend more time in nature so that they can come back to their bodies. I could have my Geminis feeling more desire to spend time at home because they are working on this particular passion project, so they are happy spending time at home. They don't want to be going out and doing too many things. They want to really focus and ground themselves in one place. I see you being in a little cocoon of inspiration, being like a genius at work and not having time or desire to go out and explore and do 1,000 million things because you're really focused and honed in on this particular project. So again, let me know if that resonates. I'd love to know what it is you guys are working on. But there is an invitation to nurture a sense of groundedness, however you guys like to do that in your day-to-day, whether it's spending time in nature, whether it's stretching your body, whether it is through meditation or breathing exercises, whether it's through taking a nice shower, however ways you find to come back to your body, to take care of yourself, come back to the present moment, because I really feel my Gemini is being even more intellectually stimulated than usual. You're gonna have to balance that with coming back to the present moment and grounding your body. It's gonna be important for you to manage this particular burst of inspiration. So this is a little advice from the universe right there. Okay, let's check out your oracle cards. I've pre-pulled them, but I've not checked them out yet. We're gonna discover them together. First up, your animal for the next 3 months. What is your animal guide for the next 3 months? We have alpaca, curiosity. Exactly. You see, I told you, you're connecting the dots, you're feeling creative, you're feeling stimulated, you're feeling inspired. I really see in my mind's eye someone in their, on their computer, they're writing something or they're working on something, and they have to remind themselves to pause and drink and eat because they're so caught up in their work. They're even forgetting to do simple things like cooking and eating and drinking their water. And that's coming from a sense of inspiration and curiosity. So again, balance that with taking care of your body, pausing, grounding, whichever ways that works for you. But the alpaca, representing curiosity, is your animal guide for the next 3 months. So you might be taking a course, that might be that, learning something new, skill or anything like that. Your animal guide is the alpaca. Beautiful. Let's see who is your guardian for the month. So God, goddess, guardian for the next 3 months. Let's see who's watching over my Geminis for this summer. We have Oma, watch your words. And Oma is a Celtic god who is linked with having invented literature, with having invented language, and is very much linked to communication, writing. Again, there's a huge theme of writing. Are my Geminis writing books? Are you writing your memoirs? Are you creating a website? Are you creating a social media page? Are you launching your business? What is going on? Are you taking a course? I need to find out. Let me know. There's a huge emphasis on communication, words, sharing your knowledge or getting more knowledge, or sharing your words or writing things down, or are you communicating, be more being more present, maybe public speaking, building your online presence, something like that. Maybe you're creating a YouTube channel, maybe you're creating a podcast, maybe you are joining a book club. I don't know, there's something related for my Geminis around literature, words, communication, that being super important for this next 3 months. So I love that. And this particular God is your guardian. Like I said, he's a Celtic warrior god, specifically Welsh god, into literature, words, knowledge. So if any of you are thinking about learning a new language, you're thinking about doing some form of public speaking, you're thinking about publishing something, writing something, using either communication or your words towards a certain project, he is the perfect guides for you guys to work through that. So I love that. So far, beautiful energies for my Geminis. And we're going to look at what is your crystal for the next 3 months. For those of you who like to work with stones, what is your crystal? We have tangerine, quartz, innovation, again, a sense of creativity, of innovation, of creating something beautiful. So if you like to work with crystals, this could be a great stone to meditate with, to carry on you, to work with. So I love that. And let's look at your tarot, see if anything else we need to know, see if there's anything else we need to know for my Geminis. Let's see what we have in terms of advice or anything we missed for my Geminis. Okay, we have the High Priestess, beautiful. Let's see what else. We have the Six of Cups, gorgeous. And we'll pull one more. We also have Six of Wands. Okay, so whatever project you guys have in mind, this, again, this, whether you guys are writing your book, whether you're taking a course, whether you are launching your website, whatever it may be, there's definitely success here. So that's awesome. There's a sense of success, of achievement. We love that. With the High Priestess and the Six of Cups, we're going back to the idea of managing this burst of inspiration, this very heavy stimulation, specifically intellectual stimulation, with a sense of quietness, right? And it's interesting because I've had this need for temperance from literally all so far. I've done 3 signs: Aries, Taurus, and Gemini, and so far every single one we've been invited to pause and take time to reflect and to ground ourselves this summer. So there could be a lot of energies collectively. I think there might be a lot going on energetically. I haven't checked at the astrology of the next 3 months, but maybe there's a lot energetically, which invites us to balance that with, for you guys specifically, a sense of groundedness and a sense of spending time paying attention to what your intuition is calling you to do. So through pausing, through giving yourself a chance to breathe, through giving yourself a chance to relax, through giving yourself a chance to actually take time to pause, to quiet down your mind, you will be able to enjoy a sense of relief, right? Because remember, we started the reading by saying my Geminis might have faced a start of the year that was a little bit rocky. And so because the energies are getting much lighter, you want to be enjoying that. You want to be enjoying a sense of freedom, a sense of fun, a sense of joy that's inviting itself into your life. But you can't enjoy that if you are overly focused on work, achieving stuff, doing. You want to balance that with pause, with rest, with quiet contemplation, with groundedness, and everything we've talked about. So that makes a lot of sense. Don't forget to have fun. Don't forget to play. Don't forget to pause. You will not be able to constantly be doing, I told you in my mind's eye, I'm seeing someone who's working so hard, they are forgetting to drink and sleep and eat because they're so caught up in it. They love what they're doing. This is a little bit of a warning sign, like make sure you take care of your body, make sure you pause, make sure you drink your water, make sure you have your night's sleep. You don't have to sit down at your computer all day long, even though you're working on something that is so interesting and that you're so passionate about. You want to make sure you are balancing that with rest, with care, and with moments of lightheartedness, if I can say that. Okay, at the bottom of the deck we have Justice. Look at that's what's at the bottom of the deck. So again, inviting a sense of equilibrium, of balance, and again, that's something that's coming through for a lot of my signs so far. So it's definitely collective, it seems. Okay, let's check out for my Geminis your mantra for the summer. What is your mantra for the next 3 months? Let's see what's your mantra, your affirmation for the next 3 months. We have I am smart. Oh my god, I can't make this up, you guys. I told you, you're working on something, your brain is on fire, you are super stimulated, you've got a project, you're learning something, or you're writing something, or you're building something. I don't know what it is, but it's awesome. And I think it's gonna be very innovative. I see you guys being super inspired and really achieving what it is you want to do. Awesome confirmation of everything we've talked about. If you have any exams or anything like that, this is a good sign that it's going to go well. And I love this little affirmation to tie up the reading for my Geminis. Okay, so that's all I'm saying for you guys for the next 3 months. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it brought you something of value. If it did, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work, and it really makes makes a huge difference. So thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that. Thank you for being here. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Cancerian, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be the reading for you. As I mentioned, we are looking at June, July, and August, so whether it's summer or winter for you guys. And we're going to start by pulling some oracle cards and check out what are the energies for my Cancerians. So let's my Cancerian, Sun, Moon, or Rising, the energies for the next 3 months for June, July, and August. What do we have? We have the building card, okay. Let's see, we have divination, okay. And we have the justice card, interesting, okay. So there might be a big focus around home for my Cancerians, and I know you're gonna laugh because it's very Cancerian in theme, but I don't know, maybe some of you guys are thinking about moving this summer, changing home, renovating your home, taking care of your home. Maybe you are doing a big project of like changing things around, decluttering your home, selling stuff. You might be packing things up to sell. You might be changing the way your home looks. There might be some people who are moving. There might be some people who are in the process of building or buying their a new home, who are in the process of like clearing up. I'm even seeing in my mind's eye someone who's clearing up someone's home that they've inherited or something, like clearing up family stuff, having to put stuff in boxes, deciding, do I keep that? Do I sell that? Do I give that to charity? There's a big focus around your environment, your home, and either changing it, moving it, renovating, decluttering, but there's really something here for my Cancerians related to your environment, specifically where you live, where you spend time. I could have people who want to go from sharing a flat to living on their own, or maybe you are moving away from your family. Maybe you have kids who are moving away for the first time, so you're going from living with your kids to your kids like leaving the nest, and now you're finding yourself on your own or with your partner. There's definitely a big theme around home, family dynamic, living dynamics, environment, and all of that for my Cancerians, which is going to be important this summer. So you'll have to let me know in the comments if that resonates. We also have, it's interesting in the middle, this card of divination. This is linked to luck. In this particular deck, it's linked to luck, so this is great, but there could be a sense of luck joining my Cancerian this summer. More synchronicity, things working out the way you want, feeling a little bit more lucky, like you are leaving your home, you're thinking you're gonna get late, and then turns out there's no traffic on the road, and you actually turn out right on time to your appointment, or you are entering a giveaway and you win. You know, those little like nice lucky moments, synchronicities, serendipitous moments. I see my Cancerians having a lot of those this summer, which is awesome. It's like, moments of like, oh, things turning out exactly how I want, or I'm finding myself lucky, I'm finding things are working out how I wished, and that is giving a sense again of comfort and of success, which we love. This is interesting. We have the Justice card, so that's not going to speak to everyone. I see two things here. The first thing is that's not going to resonate for everyone, but if some of you are currently in any kind of like justice related dealings, whether you are facing some kind of trial, whether you are waiting on an allowance. I'm going to give the example of like, let's say you had separated with your partner and you were waiting for them to sort out the divorce, for example, or you are waiting for an inheritance paper or an allowance from the government, paperwork, administration, anything like that. This summer it's getting sorted, I'm hearing, and it's getting sorted for your own advantage. It's working out for your own advantage, so we love that. You could finally be hearing from some kind of paperwork dealings, anything like that, a contract or something you guys have been waiting that needed to be approved by the administration or by the justice system or something like that. Then there's good news there. Again, that's not going to speak to everyone, but it's coming through, so I'm sharing it. The other side of it with this particular justice card is I'm seeing needing to make a choice this summer. So I don't know if you guys are thinking about changing jobs, or maybe you're thinking about moving, for example, and there could be like two different homes that are coming up on the market and you have to choose between one or another, or you are thinking about changing jobs and you're giving two different options, or you're going on a holiday and you have to choose between two destinations. I don't know, there's something about a choice here needing to be made, and my Cancerians need to be decisive. Okay, there's an invitation here to not dilly-dally in terms of the decision. As I'm hearing, it could lead to the choice being taken away from you if you take too long. So again, I don't know how that's going to resonate, but I'm hearing that there's going to be an invitation to be very decisive this summer. If you're being given two choices, don't hesitate, go with your gut, follow your intuition, but don't take ages to decide, as if you take too long, the thing could be removed, right? So if I go back to the example of wanting to move, you see 2 different places. If you take too long, the places could get off the market and you end up with no options at all, and you have to continue looking. There's this idea of needing to be quick, decisive this summer in terms of a certain decision. So again, you have to let me know in the comments if that resonates, but we're going to continue and see what else the cards are giving us. We're going to check out your oracle cards, you guys, first, and then we move on to tarot. So I've pre-pulled your oracle cards, but I've not yet looked at them. We're going to discover them together. Let's check your animal guides for the next 3 months. This is your animal spirit guide. So let's see what we have. Look, we have the turtle, gorgeous, and it's linked to longevity. Ooh, I love that. So the turtle is your animal guide for the summer or winter, regardless of depending on where you guys live for the next 3 months. And it's interesting because the turtle also is linked to home, because no matter how far they veer and stray away, they can always come back to the beach where they were born. Turtles have this amazing inner GPS, and they can travel for thousands of kilometers, cross all the oceans. They will always find their way back home. So we go back to this idea of home for you guys, of home being important. And the turtle is a great also ally for travelers, people who like to travel, because there's this sense of always finding your way back home. So if you guys have been thinking about traveling also this summer, and potentially you are worried about missing home or missing your family or anything like that, or your partner if you're traveling on your own, then this particular turtle energy is there to accompany you on your travels and to guide you. So that's your animal guide for the next 3 months. I love that. Let's check out your guardian for the next 3 months. So this is a god or a goddess, a guardian watching over you. Let's see. And look, yeah, that makes so much sense. We have Athena, the Greek goddess, linked to justice and wisdom. And look, wise decision. I told you guys, there's something you guys are going to have, a choice you're going to have to make. And we had justice here, very linked to Athena, with this like particular Greek goddess of wisdom, of fairness, of balance, of intelligence. Go back to the idea of you needing to make a choice and of you needing to make a wise choice. So trust yourself, trust your decision, trust your power to make the right choice, trust your gut feeling, trust your intuition. We do have the owl here linked to the idea of seeing things clearly. You will be able to make the right decisions. My Cancerians, I really hear that. And Athena, working with Athena, calling upon her wisdom can help you in those moments where you're faced with a certain choice. And again, if you are waiting on any kind of administrative paper or anything like that, she can also help you through that. Okay. Beautiful. Let's see, for people who like to work with crystals, what is your stone for the next 3 months? Look, we have citrine linked to success. I love that. I told you there is a sense of luck here, a sense of success. So love those energies from my Cancerians. And if you guys like to work with stones or meditate, wear them or anything like that, then you might be wanting to work with citrine this summer, which actually is a great stone to wear and work with in the summer anyway, because it's linked to the sun. You know, so it's really appropriate for this time of year. Okay, let's pull some tarot cards for my Cancerian. Let's see what else we need to know for the next 3 months for you guys. What do we have? Look, we have the Emperor. I love that so much. Again, we are linked to making the right decision, feeling confident in your decision, and potentially this could be linked to career for some of you. I told you there could be a decision to apply for a new job, change job, take on new opportunities at work, feel more confident at work, take a decision to take on more responsibilities, to go after a certain promotion, to start your own business or anything like that. If you've been thinking about expansion at work or in the career realm in any shape or form, this is a big yes. We also have, again, a big emphasis on home, renovating home, feeling comfortable in your environment, building your own little empire. Again, this is a big yes. So there is a confirmation here that this is a kind of summer where my Cancerians are investing in the right things. You are creating the environment that suits you. You are pouring your energy. If you're pouring your energy in careers, there's definitely success on the way. There's a sense of financial abundance coming from my Cancerian this summer. So there could be money coming in. Let's see what else. 4 of Cups. Okay, and we'll pull a couple more. 6 of Swords. And Queen of Wands. Okay, let's start with the Queen of Wands. With the Queen of Wands, for my Cancerian, we have an invitation to be bold, this summer, right? To tap into your inner fire, your inner confidence, and to dare to be brave, to dare to be bold. The Queen of Wands is unapologetic. She's confident in herself, in her abilities. You do have the Emperor, which is very linked to Aries. The Queen of Wands is linked to the fire signs. So whilst you guys are a water sign, you're invited to tap into the inner fire that lives within you, that inner confidence that makes you feel badass. Specifically, I'm hearing if it's related to work or anything like that related to career, you're invited to be bold, to really assert yourself, be confident in your abilities, as again, there could be great success there if you take risks, of course, like, risks that you feel are calling to you, but, I'm not telling you what to do, but if you feel called to apply for a promotion, if you feel called to start a side hustle, anything like that, be bold, be confident, be brave, as there could be success there. So there is a sense with the Four of Cups and the Six of Swords. I am hearing the word patience as well. So whilst I said that when you'll be faced with a certain decision between two options, you'll have to decide quickly. Once you decide quickly, there might be a need for patience for things to then get moving. Okay, so if I go back to the example of you are moving home, you are visiting two different places, and there's two places that you like. You are deciding quickly because you're worried that the places are going to go. Things are getting approved, but then you might not be able to move in as quickly as you want, right? And that's when you're going to have to be patient. There might be a need to take a little bit more time. Things might get a little bit delayed. So it's interesting. We have an idea of needing to make a wise decision and to assert yourself when you're making the decision and to not hesitate, but also then accepting that once you've made the decision, things might take a little bit longer than you thought, and having to be patient and needing to embrace a sense of not stagnation, but of working with time and the universe's timing, I'm hearing. Okay, so that's going to be important as well for my Cancerian this summer, is work with the universe's timing. Things might not work. We do have the turtle link to longevity. Things might not work out in your own timing. Things might work out in the universe's timing, and that's going to be your prerogative to learn to embrace that, go with the flow, and not get frustrated when things are a little bit delayed or things are not working on the timing you thought. It's nothing major, but I am putting it out there that there's definitely this sense of universe's timing at play for my Cancerians. That's going to be important this summer, okay? At the bottom of the deck, we have the Three of Wands. You guys are looking ahead. You're making plans for the future. You're moving on. You are making progress. Again, I really see in the material world specifically, whether it's at work, whether it's in your finances, whether it's in your environment, there's definitely moves being made, and I love that for you guys. Okay, we're gonna wrap things up, pulling a little mantra for my Cancerian Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's see the mantra for you guys for the summer. We have, oh my god, I can't make this shit up, you guys. I am on my own timeline. Can it focus? Okay. I am on my own timeline. I will not compare my journey to anyone else's. Again, we have this, I just told you guys, we have this idea of divine timing. Very much at play for my Cancerian. Divine timing, the universe's timing. So don't look at what other people are doing. Don't compare yourself. You're on your own path. You're on your own journey. You are building your own empire. You are focused on yourself. And so remember, you're on your own timeline. That is your mantra for the next 3 months. I love that. What a perfect summary to the reading. I'm going to finish your reading here. I hope you enjoyed it. If it brought you anything of value, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work. It really makes a difference. So thank you so much to those of you who take the time to do that. I want to thank you for being here. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, welcome to your reading for this summer 2025 or winter 2025. Regardless of where you live, this is going to be the reading for June, July, and August for this year. We're going to start by pulling some oracle cards, and then we'll move on to tarot. So let's see, for my Leos, what are the vibes, what are the energies for you guys, and then we will pull some tarot cards. But let's see, for my Leos, what are the vibes, what are the energies for the next 3 months? We have the Mirror. Okay, let's pull a couple more for my Leos, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Let's see, for the next 3 months, what do we have? We have this restaurant, 2 people eating kind of vibes with the plates and the cutlery. We have the Mirror, okay, and then we will pull one more card. Let's see what's coming through for you guys. Okay, we have the chimney with like a cozy home interior, little fireplace. Okay, it's giving wanting to cozy in, wanting to chill, to relax, to spend time reading a good book, to spend time at home, relaxing with your family, with your loved ones, with your partner. It's giving wanting to go out and enjoy nice foods and meals and like spending time with your loved ones, eating out with your partner, going for meals with like your colleagues, whatever it is, just enjoying life, simple pleasure. This is what the vibe is giving me for my Leo. Super important for the next 3 months. It's really giving this what I like to call like hobbit summer, cottagecore summer, a summer spent enjoying simple but delightful things, a nice meal, good company, a good book, a nice walk in nature, some time doing things you enjoy. Honestly, truly, this is gonna be what is at the forefront of this summertime for my Leos, is really enjoying life, simple pleasure, things that you can share with others, and things that really are simple but very important in life, right? So the ways in your day-to-day life that you can infuse joy, where you can really feel like, you know what, I've had a lovely day. I spent time with the people I loved. I spent time doing things I loved. I relaxed. I took care of like myself. I enjoyed simple things, nice things. I didn't stress. I didn't strive. I really don't see the vibe for this summertime for my Leos around striving, pushing hard, wanting to like challenge yourself or anything like that. I had some signs that were really giving me that vibe of like wanting to use the next 3 months to push and force and strive. For my Leos, this is the complete opposite. I see you guys wanting to enjoy. I see you guys wanting to relax. I see you guys wanting to pause, to take time, to appreciate things, to appreciate day-to-day life, to appreciate the people around you, to appreciate spending time with yourself, doing things that you like. And you know what? That's beautiful. We don't always have to strive towards something. We don't always have to force and push and challenge ourselves. It's also very healthy to take time to appreciate where we are at, to be in a like momentum of gratitude, of contentment. And that is really the vibe I'm picking up for my Leos for this summertime, which is beautiful. We also have this mirror. So could be that the next 3 months are also a moment for my Leos to do a little bit of an introspection. Maybe some of you guys are like facing some dilemmas. You might be faced with certain like personal questions, personal dilemmas, and you might want to be using this summer, which looks to be like it's going to be more quiet, more relaxing, as a great time for you to do some introspection. If you've been thinking about starting journaling, if you've been thinking about going to see someone, a counselor or anything like that, if you've been thinking about doing any kind of like introspection, looking at certain things, getting to know yourself deeper, because we have the mirror, this could be a great time for that as well. Really, the vibe for my Leos is around gratitude, contentment, appreciation of simple life's pleasure, the little things that make life beautiful, as well prioritizing your happiness, prioritizing spending time with the people you love, prioritizing taking care of your nervous system, enjoying yourself, resting, posing, enjoying like cozying in, as well as grabbing that quieter time as an opportunity to do again any kind of self-reflection that you've been thinking of doing, so that by the time that autumn or spring comes around, depending on whether you guys are in the northern or southern hemisphere, but by the time that September comes around, you have gotten to know yourself a little bit better and you're ready to tackle the new year energetically, in the sense of like the solstice time, with a deeper understanding of what it is you want, because you're going to take time to really pause and appreciate life's simple things. It will also give you the time to potentially reevaluate your larger goals, your larger dreams, your larger projects, and that will be helpful for the rest of the year as well. So that's what I'm picking up in terms of vibes for my Leo, which I love for you guys. We're going to move on to your oracle cards. I've pre-pulled them, but I've not yet looked at them, so we're going to discover them together. Let's see, and then we'll pull some tarot cards. So let's see first your animal guide for the next 3 months for my Leos. Let's see we have the manta ray. It's linked to presence. Look, exactly, right? We've talked about it this next 3 months. It's not about striving for my Leos. It's not about forcing, pushing, putting the pedal to the metal. It's more about appreciating life, enjoying simple things, being in the present moment, enjoying a nice meal with your family or your partner, enjoying spending quality time with your kids, having a lovely day out with your friends or with yourself. It's all about being in the present moment, being and enjoying a time of contentment and of gratitude. I love that for you guys. And the manta ray, this idea of like floating in the water, the manta rays, they don't push, they don't strive, they're really good at like floating, going with the current. That is the vibe for my Leos for this summer. Beautiful. Let's see now your guardian for the next 3 months. So this is like a god, a goddess, a guardian who is watching over you, my Leos, for the next 3 months. Let's see. Ooh, I love that. We have Baba Yaga and look, patience. Again, a reinforcement of this idea that for you guys the next 3 months, it's all about going with the flow, trusting the universe's timing, potentially not a time to force or strive or push too hard, but more a time of understanding that sometimes the universe has its own timing. I'm hearing slow cooking brings the best result, okay? If I had to give a kind of like metaphor for your guys' summer, it's this. Slow cooking brings the best results. So yeah, sometimes you are in a rush, you want to quickly put a meal together and it's nice, it feeds you, it's okay. What really the vibe is for my Leos is this idea of slow cooking, of taking the time, something that's going to simmer, that's going to take time, like homemade pasta with a sauce that's going to be simmering for hours and hours, and that's going to be the best meal of your life. Yeah, maybe it's taken hours to make and hours to simmer and all of that, but it brings the best results. That's the vibe for my Leos. Slowly but surely enjoying better results than rushing and trying to take shortcuts. So Baba Yaga is watching over you. She's a Slavic goddess. She represents this like hag kind of archetype. And in this particular instance, she's linked to patience. So if you want to work with this kind of concept of the like slow cooking, metaphor, then my Baba Yaga can really help you tap into this idea of going with the flow, of trusting delays, of trusting sometimes things working out in their own way, of understanding sometimes we have to be patient. She can be a great guardian for that. And she is the goddess watching over my Leos for the next 3 months. Okay, the last oracle card, and then we move on to tarot. What is your crystal for the next 3 months? For those of you who like to work with crystals, with stones, we have rose quartz linked to empathy. I love that. So if you need a little bit of support in the summer, need a little bit of help from the mineral world, then you can work with rose quartz, my Leo. We love that. Okay, let's have a look at your tarot cards. Let's see anything else we need to know about your summer, my Leos. What do we need to know? What do we need to find out for the next 3 months? King of Wands. I love that. So just because it's a time where you might not be feeling called to strive and challenge yourself and push does not mean it's going to be a boring time, my Leos, right? Because I actually see you having a lot of fun. I see you having a lot of fun, sharing beautiful memories with your loved ones, particularly having good times that you can share with people you love. We've talked about nice meals, going out, spending quality time with other people. Maybe you're going on a little trip, day or holiday or anything like that. There's really opportunities to enjoy yourself this summer, my Leos. I'm hearing Epicurean, I'm hearing hedonist, right? Making the most of life's pleasure, enjoying life's simple pleasure, enjoying life, biting life like it's a delicious peach. That's the vibe for my Leos, and I love that, honestly. I love that. It's awesome. Okay, let's see what else. What else is coming through for my Leo? We have the Four of Pentacles. Again, it might be a time where you guys are more focused on saving up some energy, on taking time to pause, taking time to ground, and on deciding to kind of prioritize your well-being. Maybe it's not going to be the next 3 months where you guys are pushing, forcing at work, you're taking on lots of responsibilities, you are spending so many hours at work. No, maybe you decide, you know what, I'm going to go home on time and I'm not going to take on more projects and I'm not going to be going above and beyond. I'm going to do what needs to be done, but I'm going to go home on time, and when I go home, I'm going to cozy in, or I'm going to see my friend or spend time with my partner or enjoy time with my kids, whatever it is. I'm going to read my book, I'm I'm gonna go to my dance class, whatever it is, but I'm gonna be prioritizing me for once and doing things that make me feel good, without the need to always do more, produce more, strive more. So that's really in line with everything we talked about for my Leos. Let's see what else. The Fool. So for me, this time, because this summer, you're really like recharging your battery, recharging your energies. You're really plugging, metaphorically, a little cord in your soul to recharge, regroup, feel better, feel more energized. This will lead to a fresh start for my Leos. Specifically, I'm hearing early September, where you will find the inspiration again to go after your big goals, to strive once more. So after you're spending a summer or winter, again, depending where you live, where you are again recharging your batteries, taking care of yourself, being in gratitude, contentment, being in the present moment, then fresh start, you are getting inspiration. Some of you are also, like I told you at the beginning, some of you are reevaluating your dreams, and you're taking this time to reevaluate your goals, to reevaluate your plans, so that by September time, you are ready, you're fully recharged, and you're fully inspired to actually go after what it is you want. Spending those 3 months to actually regroup, recharge, reevaluate will be super useful for my Leos, in order for you to then go after what it is you want and create that fresh chapter for you. So I love that. Okay, let's pull one more. Let's see what else. We'll pull one more card. Let's see. And look, we have Death. For me, this is all about this, again, transition time. I told you, I really see this next 3 months as being a time of transition. You guys are letting go of a sense of obligation to strive, obligation to push, obligation to take on more, to always do more. You're deciding to release a lot of the pressure you've been carrying on your shoulder, release a lot of the responsibilities, release a lot of like the heaviness. You're taking time to really shed some layers, metaphorically, potentially even physically, in the sense of you might be decluttering your life, reorganizing and changing some priorities, so that by September, I really see you initiating a fresh start, initiating change, and it being a new start for a new chapter for you guys. And look, at the bottom of the deck, we have the Hanged Man or the Hanged One. Again, a card of surrendering, of being in the present moment, of not forcing, of not striving, of just going in the flow. And exactly like the mentor ray, being present, accepting life's currents, right? Not trying to swim against the current, but just going with the flow, enjoying where life takes you, and that creating momentum and a renewed sense of energy, so that when you're ready for your fresh chapter, you actually feel like excited, recharged, and ready, right? Poised for this fresh start. So I love that energy for my Leos. Beautiful. We're going to wrap up the reading with a little mantra for you guys. What is the mantra for my Leo, Sun, Moon, or Rising? What's the mantra? What's the affirmation? Something you can carry with you from this reading. Let's see. We have my progress is not diminished by my setback. Okay, I love that. And again, chilling on the bike ride, enjoying the sunset, enjoying being in the present moment. That's the vibe. For my Leos, you are on your little bike and enjoying the views, enjoying the sun, enjoying the birds, and not pressuring yourself this summer, just enjoying life. And that is gorgeous. I love that for you guys so much. Honestly, vibes for my Leos. I'm so here for it. So that's all I'm saying for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it brought you something of value. If it did, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work. I want to thank you so much for being here. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising, welcome to your reading. As I mentioned in the intro, today we are looking at June, July, and August 2025, so summer or winter, depending on whether you're based in the northern or southern hemisphere. So let's get started. For my Virgos, we are going to start by pulling some oracle cards, and then we'll move on to tarot. What are the energies? What are the vibes for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising? Let's see. Ooh, okay, we're starting strong. We have the Phoenix. Love that. Okay, let's see. We have emotions with all these emojis. Okay, could be that emotions are running high. Okay. And let's see what else is coming through. And we have the owl. Okay. So let me tell you what I'm picking up on for you guys. There is definitely a sense of first with this Phoenix, there's a sense of rebirth, right? Coming through straight away. If my Virgos have been going through a little bit of a tough time recently, last few weeks or last few months, maybe even since like the beginning of the year. I'm gonna say summer because most of you guys watching are in the northern hemisphere, but you know, next 3 months is definitely gonna be a time of renewal, sense of energy. We have this idea of the Phoenix rising from the ashes, so rising from a challenge, rising from a difficult time, rising from a sense of heaviness. You guys are able to rise from your ashes to feel more inspired. So maybe some of you are finally feeling inspired to tackle some stuff that's been on your to-do list for ages. Maybe some of you guys are finally inspired to go after certain goals you have. Maybe some of you guys are finally inspired to go back to exercising or to start going after certain work or career goals you've had that you kind of had put on the back burner. Maybe you are feeling excited again and a sense of inspiration again towards certain passion projects, or maybe to go on dates again. If you had some disappointment in the romantic sense, you took a pause, you were like, you know what, I'm not feeling it, I need to focus on myself. Could be that the next 3 months you get a renewed sense of energy. You'll be like, okay, I'm ready to put myself out there again, I'm ready to try again. We really have an idea with this Phoenix vibe that my Virgos are in a time where they are feeling more inspired and creative and passionate again after I'm sensing what could have been difficult weeks, days, or even months for you guys. So there's a big sense of relief there of like, okay, suddenly I'm feeling a lot more like myself. I'm feeling a lot more like I can take on a challenge, like I can do this. And that is bringing a sense of confidence for my Virgos, which is awesome. We do have the emoji, which is linked to emotion. So emotion could be running high for my Virgos, and that's not a good thing or a bad thing. It just is, right? So you might be feeling a little bit more emotional, sensitive the next 3 months. It might be that you guys are feeling a little bit more in touch with your emotions. Maybe you are feeling called to have some deeper chats in your interpersonal relationships, sharing what's on your heart. It might be that you are feeling more sensitive when you're like reading a book or watching a movie. You feel yourself crying more or laughing more because your emotions are very like flared up. Again, it's not a bad or a good thing, it just is. But I really see my Virgos being more in touch with their feelings, more in touch with their emotions in the next 3 months, and that being a big part of this renewed sense of life, right? This renewed sense of energy. Potentially from you being more in touch with your emotions, you are able to rise from your ashes. It might be that some of you guys had been in this kind of phase of your life where you had been like putting a dam on your emotions. You might have been like cramming things in a box, putting things down, pushing things down, being like, yeah, I have those feelings, I don't want to look at them, I'm going to push them down in a box and I'm going to pretend they're not here. And yet I see you guys in the next 3 months deciding to open the box finally, take time to feel the feels, and this like release of emotion is creating a release of energy that is allowing you to rise from your ashes and tap into this Phoenix energy, this rebirth energy. So don't hesitate to feel your feelings, my Virgos, in the next 3 months. Don't hesitate to cry if you feel like crying, get mad if you feel like you're angry. Don't hesitate to laugh out loud. Like, this is really a time to feel all the feels and to use them as energy, right? Like this Phoenix. So that's also super important for my Virgos for the next 3 months. Finally, we have the owl. The owl in this deck is all about following your intuition. It's about listening to your inner voice, and it's about paying attention to what your inner voice is telling you. This is a little bit of an advice already from your guys, letting you know that in the next 3 months, you are encouraged to pay attention to what your intuition is telling you instead of paying attention to what other people might be telling you. So trust yourself, trust your gut feelings, trust your instinct, trust your intuition. You know best, okay? That's what I'm hearing. You know best. There might be people trying to give you advice about, I don't know, a situation at work, a situation with your family, something like that. This is saying you know best. Trust yourself, trust your instinct. When the owl comes, it's all about following your inner wisdom and your inner intuition. Also, the owl could be important for my Virgos in the next 3 months. Pay attention. You might see owls in real life. You might see them pop up on an Instagram post, like turn on the TV, there's a documentary about owl or something, pay attention. I'm hearing owls are important for my Virgos for the next 3 months. They could be like an animal guide of some form, okay? Gorgeous. Okay, let's check out more of your oracle cards and then we will move on to tarot. I've pre-pulled them, but I've not yet looked at them, so we're gonna discover them together. First up, we have an animal guide. Speaking of animals, we have an animal guide for you guys. So let's see. Ooh, gorgeous. We have the dragonfly and it's linked to imagination. For me, we're going back to this idea of feelings. Again, feeling your feelings, it's not a good thing. It's not a bad thing. It just is. Feelings can be energy. They can be a way for also be a source of it. They can also be a source of inspiration. And for my Virgos, I really see you being more in touch with your emotions in the next 3 months, being more sensitive to things, being more in tune with your intuition, just being more able to pick up subtle things, subtle prompts from the universe, subtle energies. And that could be a source of inspiration from you guys and a way for you to tap into your imagination more. So this phoenix rising from the ashes could also be a rebirth of your creativity. And you don't have to be a creative to have creativity. I believe that everyone creative, everyone can tap into their creativity regardless of their job, regardless of what they do in life. You can pour creativity into everything you do in your life. So this dragonfly is confirming that my Virgos are also going to be able to tap more into their creativity in the next 3 months, which we love. And again, pay attention to the ways the dragonfly shows up in your life. It might have a significance for you guys. So that's your animal guide for the next 3 months. Let's see your guardian. So goddess, god, who's watching over you for this summertime. Let's see. And look, we have Athena with an owl. Guess what? I told you the owl is important for you guys. And Athena, Greek goddess of wisdom, a Greek goddess of intelligence, of war, but she's a very wise goddess, obviously, the wisest of them all. And so with this, again, linked to the owl, we have, again, reinforcement of what we talked about earlier, this idea that you guys are invited to trust your instinct, trust your intuition, listen to what your soul is telling you. Don't pay too much attention to what other people are saying, but really trust in yourself. Trust in your ability to make the right choices for you. See things clearly. With Athena, we also have an encouragement around speaking your truth, being honest, sharing what's on your mind. Again, you know, we have this idea with feelings of feeling your feelings. This might be a prompt for you to have some conversations you've been wanting to have with certain people, of clearing the air with certain people. Athena is watching over you and she is really inviting you to tap into your inner Queen of Swords, to trust in your ability to make the right decision, and again, to trust in your intuition with this owl. I love it. Okay. Lastly, we have your crystal for the next 3 months. If you like to work with gems, with crystals, what do we have? We have moonstone and it's linked to vision. Wow, I love that vision. Owls see in the dark. You guys are invited to trust in your vision, trust in what you're seeing, trust in the fact that you're seeing things clearly. Beautiful. It's in accordance with everything we've talked about. And if you like to work with crystal, then moonstone could be a great ally for you guys. Okay, let's move on to tarot. Let's see if there's anything else we haven't talked about, anything else coming through for this next 3 months for my Virgo, Sun, Moon, or Rising. What's coming up for you? Let's see. We have the 8 of Cups, okay? We've talked about you being more in touch with your emotions in the next 3 months, and we've talked about you rising up from the ashes after a potential challenge or difficult time. This could lead some of you to walk away from people or situations that no longer align with them. And this is a personal choice. This is deciding, you know what, I deserve better. I don't want to be in this situation anymore. I don't want to do this thing anymore. I don't want to be around this person anymore. I don't want to be in this habit anymore. I don't want to be this person anymore. I'm going to walk away. So I would not be surprised if, again, remember, the phoenix rise from the ashes. In order to rise from the ashes, things need to burn down. Some of you guys might decide to burn certain bridges, burn a certain version of yourself, metaphorically, so that you can rise up differently, rebirth. So I would not be surprised if some of you walk away from something or someone or a habit and decide to see what's out there, to decide to trust in the fact, again, trust in yourself, in your vision, knowing that there's better out there, knowing you deserve better, knowing you have the capacity to change, and that there's better coconuts on the other side of that bridge. Okay, some of you might feel called to walk away from something or someone, and that's because deep down you trust in the fact that there's better waiting for you on the other side. Love that. Okay, let's see what else. We also have the Page of Swords, very linked to Athena and very much linked again to this idea of owl. With the Page of Swords, we have an encouragement to keep an open mind, to stay curious, to remain open-minded, to remain open to opportunities and possibilities. So there is a good balance for you guys, I see, for my Virgos, of I'm going to listen to people's opinions and I'm going to listen to varying point of view. But at the end of the day, I'm not going to get influenced. I'm going to stick to what I want to do, but it is useful to learn from other point of view and to gain like an open mind kind of perspective. So the Page of Swords is encouraging you to do that. Also, side note, but if I have anyone taking on an exam, studying anything, taking on a course, having to pass some kind of exam or something specifically in the education kind of realm, then this is a great sign when the Page of Swords comes up. It often means that it's going to be a success. So awesome for you guys. Take heart if you have any exams, any kind of again, anything related to school or anything like that. This is a good sign that it's going to go well. Let's continue. Pull a couple of cards again for the summer for my Virgos. We have Three of Pentacles. We have the Three of Pentacles, and let's pull one more. And we have the Nine of Cups. You know what? I love that for you guys, because after leaving behind a situation, a relationship, a version of yourself, whatever it may be, after you decide to burn, metaphorically, something to rebirth from your ashes, on the other side of that, there's more joy, there's more fulfillment, there's a life for you that feels more aligned, that feels more fulfilling, and that feels a lot more joyful. So that's amazing. I also see, after you walking away, the potential for you to find your people, to find your community, to find the people that resonate with you, that match, to find your metaphorical tribe, right? So if I have people who've been looking to find their community, who've been looking to find new friends, if I have people who are thinking about changing jobs because they want to find a company where they could get on more with their colleagues, or if they are looking to expand their business because they're looking to find business partners or anything like that, great time for that for my Virgos. I see you connecting. I see you finding your tribe, finding your clients, finding your community, finding your new friends. But really, truly, there's a sense of fulfillment that's coming from all of that. I see opportunities for you to walk away from anything or anyone that's no longer aligned with you. And on the other side of that, there's really more joy, more fulfillment, and a sense of belonging that's inviting itself into your life, and that's really awesome. Okay, so my Virgos, we're going to wrap things up and pulling a little mantra for you, a little affirmation. What's your mantra? What's your affirmation for the next 3 months? We have, I'm going to treat myself the way I would treat my best friend. I love that. And for me, we're going back to this emotion card. Feel the feelings. If you're angry, it's okay. If you're sad, it's okay. If you're happy, it's okay. If you're disappointed, it's okay. All your feelings are valid. They are just temporary. You can feel the feels. You treat yourself, care for yourself, be there for yourself. I think you will learn a lot from the next 3 months, my Virgos, and you'll gain a sense of empowerment. Gorgeous reading. I really enjoyed doing that for you. If you enjoyed it, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work. Thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that, as it really makes a big difference for my channel. Thank you for your time, for your presence, and until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Libra, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be the reading for you. We're going to start by pulling some oracle cards, and then we'll move on to tarot. And so let's get started for my Libras. What are the vibes? What are the energies for the next 3 months for my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising? Let's see. Okay, we'll pull a few more. How cute. Okay, gorgeous. We have this countryside with a field and being able to harvest, this sense of harvest on the field, this truck harvesting the grain, harvesting everything that's been planted. So it's a time of abundance, a time of harvest. This is giving very summer vibe, so I love that. We also have the quill and parchment, which looks like this. Gorgeous. And finally, we have the absolutely super cute little chick coming out of an eggshell. Okay, so for my Libra, Sun, Moon, and Rising, there's first up, straight away I told you, we have a sense of harvesting and of birthing something into the world, right, with this chick. So either for you guys, it could be that the next 3 months you are finding finally that you're seeing results after your hard work in personal projects, in your career, in your finances, in your physical health journey, whatever it may be. There's really a sense of finally I'm seeing my hard work pay off. I'm cashing in on my investments metaphorically or physically, and I'm seeing results. I'm able to harvest my hard work. I'm able to see progress. Let's say you've been on a physical health journey. You're finally seeing some results. You're finally feeling more healthy. You're feeling stronger. If you've been pouring a lot of effort at work, you could be getting some rewards there. You know, there's really a sense of achievement there and of seeing some results, harvesting your hard work, which is awesome. We also have, obviously, with the chick, I was saying, the sense of birthing something into the world, a new creation. So maybe some of you guys are starting a new project at work. You might be birthing a new idea. Obviously, this is not going to speak to everyone, but because this card is linked to that, I'm going to mention it. I could have some pregnant peeps in my Libras who are expected to give birth in the next 3 months, and you might be waiting on a little baby. So that might be also what this is alluding to. And lastly, I'm also seeing some of you adopting pets in the next 3 months, deciding to broaden your family through getting an animal, getting a pet, something like that. That's also coming through. So I know this is random, but every time I get those random hits, there's always someone in the comments that's like, yeah, that's me. So I always make sure to mention it because what seems random is often not. So yeah, so far, gorgeous energies. We have the idea of finally seeing some results after hard work paying off, cashing in on investments and all of that. We have the idea of extension of family, birthing something into the world, potentially adopting pets, everything we've talked about. And with the quill and paper, there's a really strong emphasis on, for me, this is relating to putting pen to paper. So I would say my Libras could feel called to plan the rest of the year in the next 3 months, even to plan next year and the year after that. I see you, because you're starting to get results, you're starting to finally see some rewards coming in, see some sense of abundance coming in. It's giving you the energy and the momentum to plan ahead. So I would not be surprised if some of you guys are able to plan and make and look ahead at the next 2 years, 3 years, 5 years, and start to put stuff in place, start to make some lists, start to make some plans for your long-term goals. You're getting that momentum in the next 3 months that you've been waiting. Maybe you're finally getting the money to plan something you were waiting for, or maybe you're finally getting some answers that allow you to plan ahead. But there's really an idea here with this putting pen to paper, of being able to organize, plan ahead, make lists, put things in order, and it's giving you the chance and opportunity to look ahead further than you thought would have been possible, which is awesome. It's bringing a sense of comfort as well, a sense of safety. So if any of my Libras were craving that, if you were a bit on shaky ground at work, in your finances, in your day-to-day life, whatever it may be, there is a sense of safety and of comfort this summer as well, arriving in your life, that's allowing you to look further ahead, and I sense that's bringing a relief as well, which is great. Lastly, of course, I have to mention it again, might not speak to everyone, but if anyone has been thinking about writing in some form or another, writing a book, starting a blog, sending an email, something you've been thinking about, contacting someone, anything like that, this is a big yes. Okay, it could be the next 3 months that you initiate that. There's a sense of either communication, super important, or putting, again, ideas to paper. So if you've been thinking about anything related to writing, then this is a great time to do that. We could have some important exchanges here, sending an email to someone you've been thinking about, writing a letter to your friend that you've been thinking about them. Like I said, potentially starting a book, starting your blog, whatever it is. There is really here an invitation to write your thoughts down, write something down, use your communication, use your words. So that's also super important for my Libras. There was another sign where there was a huge emphasis on writing, on communication, on language. So if you watch that, if you're watching your sun, moon, and rising, and you've seen that other sign, then this is definitely a reinforcement of that message. Okay, let's have a look at your oracle cards, and then we'll move on to tarot. I've pre-pulled them, but I've not yet looked at them, so we'll discover them together. First up is your animal guide for the next 3 months. What is your animal guide? Look, we have the bear protection. How beautiful is that? So gorgeous. So this, again, we talked about it. There's a sense of safety, of comfort. There might be some good news again in the sense of finances, or maybe some of you guys finally getting some green light about something, but there definitely is a sense of relief and of comfort that is inviting itself in my Libra's life. Maybe I don't know, let's say you're freelancing at work, you're getting booked for the next 6 months or the next year. So it's giving you a sense of like, okay, I can plan ahead now. I've got a contract. I can like look further ahead than just the next few weeks. That's what this bear is giving me, because it's linked to protection. There's a sense of stability, of feeling safe, which is awesome. And because the bear is your animal for the next 3 months, pay attention to the way this symbol and this energy is showing up in your life. Maybe you'll see a real one, hopefully from far away, because that would be scary. But maybe you'll see a video on the internet or whatever. Just pay attention to the way the bear, as an archetype, as an animal, is showing up in your life, as it is your animal guide for the next 3 months. Okay, let's continue with your guardian for the next 3 months. So this is a god or a goddess, a guardian, who is watching over you. For my Libra, sun, moon, or rising, we have Avalon Priestess linked to intuitive awakening. Gorgeous. Okay, there could be an unlocking of your intuitive energies for my Libras. There might be a sense of recalibration of your energy and a sense of developing your intuitive skills in the next 3 months. And again, that could come from a sense of safety, comfort. When we are on survival mode, it's hard to listen to our intuition because we are constantly waiting for the other shoe to drop. And because I see my Libras finally being able to breathe a little bit better in the next 3 months, being able to pause, to see some results coming in, to get some good news, plan ahead, everything we've talked about, that in turn is allowing you to, like I said, recalibrate your intuitive energy and allow for your intuition to come back to the surface and for you to drop the survival mode and tap into your inner high priestess. So that's awesome. I love that. That's really powerful for my Libras. With obviously Avalon Priestess, we have this link to Celtic mythology. Some of you might be interested in that. There might be some of you who are interested into researching or reading about Merlin and Avalon and Morgana Le Fay and all of that. Avalon Priestess is mentioning, but overall, really, it's about trusting your intuitive gifts, dropping the survival mode, no longer waiting for the other shoe to drop, but on the other hand, trusting your intuition, trusting your gut feeling, and tapping into your inner high priestess. That's the vibe for my Libras, and I love that. Okay, let's continue with your crystal for the next 3 months. If you like to work with gems, if you like to work with crystals, let's see. We have malachite linked to transformation. Beautiful. So if you like to work with stones, this could be a great ally from my Libras. And we're going to move on to tarot. So let's see what we missed, if there's anything else that we need to know for my Libras, anything for the next 3 months. What do we need to know about this summertime? Let's see. Look, King of Pentacles, literally, we've talked about it. Harvest time, you are getting some rewards, you're seeing some results, very much linked to the material world. So you might be getting some good news at work, you might be making more money, you might be seeing some great results in your physical health journey. You might be able to make some investments, to buy something you've been waiting to buy. There's really a great time of success and of comfort and of abundance in the material world for my Libras, which is awesome. We love that. Let's see what else. Three of Wands. We've talked about it, literally. Three of Wands is all about looking ahead, finally being able to make plans for the future and to look further ahead, to no longer have to live day by day, to no longer have to be on survival mode again and of being like, okay, I can only look further than the week because I've got so much going on. I'm stressed out. I've got too many unknown. No, I see my Libras finally getting a sense of some great news or some answers and a sense of comfort, a sense of safety, and that we talked about it, allowing you to plan ahead, to look further ahead, to make lists, to make plans. And this is exactly what this Three of Wands is all about. So we love that. So far, it's confirming everything we've talked about. Let's see what else for my Libras. We have the Ace of Cups. Okay, so, and look, I mean, this is so fun. With the Ace of Cups, we have a big emphasis on the idea of a certain gift coming in your relationships or in your family life. So again, I would not be surprised if some of you are waiting, expecting, if some of you are going to be adopting, like, you know, expanding your family in a way or another. Maybe for some of you, it's related to broadening your friend group, meeting a special person, meeting someone who's going to have a really big impact in your life, a new friend, a romantic partner. There's a gift coming in the form of a person or a being, I should say, because pets are, you know, beings. So it could be in the form of a friend, a romantic partner, a pet, a addition to your family, whatever it may be. But there's really a gift coming in the form of a being in your life for my Libras, and that's amazing. I love that so much. Very, very beautiful energies. Okay, let's see what else. And we have the Knight of Pentacles. So this is a little bit of an encouragement. Just because you're starting to see results, you're starting to harvest the success of your hard work, it doesn't mean it's time to stop. Okay, don't stop your efforts, don't stop your hard work, because you want to continue and keep the momentum going. Okay, so if we go back to this metaphor of like the person who planted this wheat and finally they're able to harvest it, they're going to get grain. It doesn't mean that they're going to stop planting wheat for the next year, otherwise next year they won't have anything to harvest. So it's about enjoying the momentum, enjoying the fruits of your labor, but don't stop there. Continue, keep the momentum to continue pushing forward. If we're going about the physical health journey example, again, just because you're seeing results doesn't mean that you have to stop. This is an encouragement to keep going. Everything you're adding up to your effort, this momentum will truly continue to bring results for a long time to come, my Libras. So that's what this Knight of Pentacles is inviting you to do. It's inviting you to continue on this gorgeous momentum that you guys are taking on, and that is beautiful. Honestly, beautiful energies for my Libras. I see you guys having a great next 3 months. We love that. Okay, we're gonna wrap things up with a little mantra for you guys. Little affirmation, little mantra. What is the mantra for my Libras for the next 3 months? Let's see. We have, just as the world is always changing and evolving, so am I. Gorgeous. And look, we have the moon reminding us of this Avalon priestess, reinforcing the message that for a lot of you, there's a renewed sense of being able to tap into your intuition, of being able to trust in your intuitive ability. We also have the idea of transformation here with the Malachite. So gorgeous, gorgeous mantra for my Libras. Just as the world is changing and evolving, so am I. For me, we're going back to the idea that you will finally be able to leave survival mode behind, my Libras, for this next 3 months. And this is a personal transformation, personal evolution, where you're able to finally enjoy things, finally feel safe, comfortable, and that's beautiful. Okay, so that's all I'm seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work, and they make a huge difference. So thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that. Thank you for being here. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Scorpio sun, moon, or rising, this is going to be the reading for you. As I mentioned in the intro, today we're looking at June, July, and August. So summer 2025 or winter 2025, depending on where you live. So we're going to start by looking at the energies, and we'll start with oracle cards, and then we'll move on to tarot. See what are the energies, what are the vibes for my Scorpio sun, moon, or rising for the next 3 months. Let's see We'll pull a few cards. So let's have a look. For June, July, and August for my Scorpios. Okay, we have this kind of meditation card, yoga card, beautiful. Let's see what else. We'll pull like 2 more. We have the boat. Okay, and let's pull 1 more. Let's see what else is coming through. And okay, we have the red apple. Okay, so we have this gorgeous card linked to a sense of wellness, linked to a sense of like meditation, pose, coming back to your body, wanting to realign, wanting to take care of yourself. This could be a big theme for the next 3 months for my Scorpios. Some of you might be feeling a little bit exhausted, like you've been running yourself thin, like you've been burning the candle at both ends. If that's the case, then the next 3 months you're really prioritizing your well-being, my Scorpios. I see you taking time to sleep more, sleep better, readjust your nutrition, make sure you're drinking all the water you need, making sure you're taking time to do things, move your body in ways that are good for you. Maybe some of you are reconnecting with certain practices that you had put on the side because you were lacking time, and you're reconnecting with those in the next 3 months because you are missing that. You're realizing it was really helping you feel better physically, emotionally, spiritually. So we could have people who are wanting to get back into or get into yoga, meditation, stretching your body. I could have people even going on retreats. I don't know why that's coming through, but that's coming through. Some people going on a certain retreat to do like, again, yoga, meditation, breath work. There's something about taking care of oneself, holistic medicine, connecting with healing your mind, body, and soul. My Scorpios coming through very strongly for the next 3 months. Taking care of your well-being is really at the forefront. I see my Scorpios wanting to nurture themselves, cherish themselves, cherish their body, cherish their mind, cherish their soul, and that is awesome. We have in the middle this boat, right? So we could have some people traveling in the next 3 months. We could have some people going to explore new places, traveling new places. Specifically, I see you guys going quite far, right? And so I would not be surprised if the travels you have planned are quite far away. You might be going to the other side of the world, complete new country, some place you've never been. This kind of travel is not just like, oh, let's take a car and go to the next town. It often suggests much longer and further away kind of journeys. So if that's the case, that's awesome. You'll have to let me know in the comments where you guys are going. If you had any inclination or any travel plans, this is a big yes. Could be a great time for you to do that, to go and see a new country, explore somewhere new, go on an adventure. And finally, we have this card, which is, as you can recognize, the red apple from Snow White. So this is any warning sign in your reading, really, for my Scorpios. And this is indicating that potentially in the next 3 months, you're going to realize that someone or something was not what or who they said they were. I'm hearing not all that glitters is gold. And some of you are going to realize that in the next 3 months, and you're going to realize that either someone was pretending to be something they were not, and you are going to be readjusting your relationships accordingly, thinking, you know what, I'm not sure I want to hang out with you anymore. You're not really potentially having my best interest at heart. I'm discovering you might be a kind of jealous friend, or you might be the kind of friend who is not really a very good friend, right? There could be you discovering that some people you thought were very genuine were not. You might be discovering some friendships. Specifically, I'm hearing here it's related to friendships. You might be deciding to like review a certain friendship, realizing, you know what, I'm not sure actually this person and me are meant to be in each other's life. There's a sense of either fakeness there, or you're realizing they don't have your best interest at heart. So you're deciding to move away, realizing that they were potentially pretending to be someone they were not. And for the other part of you, it's related to an opportunity. Either you've been given and you've already said no, or you're gonna be given and you are potentially gonna tend towards no. And that you're going to realize that actually all along this was a poison apple kind of vibe. So if any of you have had regrets about saying no to a certain opportunity recently, I don't know, maybe you were given a project at work, opportunity to work on a project, and you didn't have the ability to say yes at the time, so you had to say no and someone else took it on. The next 3 months you could realize that actually this opportunity was rotten to the core, because you're seeing the person who said yes. They are working so hard. They are having so many issues. They are super stressed out. They're having the worst time. And you're looking and you're thinking, wow, I'm so glad I said no, because truly this red apple was poisoned. So this is giving the vibe of, thank God I passed this on. Thank God I decided to say no. It's giving the vibe of like, what I thought I would regret, I'm so glad I didn't do. Okay, so if you guys right now are faced with a sense of regret over, I don't know, like I said, a work thing, but it could be even, let's say it's like a date. You were on a date, it didn't go well, and you really feeling disappointed because you had a lot of hopes. You thought this was gonna be someone you really clicked. Trust me, the next 3 months you're gonna find out stuff about that person, and that's gonna make you think, thank God I didn't continue the dating. Thank God we stopped seeing each other. I really avoided a big rotten apple right there. So this is potentially something that's past already, but you're gonna get the insight as to what was rotten the next 3 months. So again, I'm so curious to read your comments because this is really interesting, really specific stuff coming through. But yeah, I really would not be surprised if my Scorpios discover that something they regretted actually was something that saved them from a lot of trouble. And again, a really big focus on well-being, taking care of yourself, taking care of your health, physical health, mental health, spiritual health. So that's coming through strongly from my Scorpios. Okay, let's continue. We're gonna see some oracle cards I've pre-pulled, but I've not yet looked at them, so we're gonna discover them together. First up, we have your animal guide for the next 3 months. Look, we have, what is that called in English? Oh my God, I forgot. Seahorse? I think that's it, seahorse. And it's linked to love. So if I have anyone in my Scorpios who are single right now, who are looking for love, could be a great time for that. Could be a great time for meeting someone special. If any of my Scorpios are in like a relationship and you have been wanting to spend more time with your partner or develop the relationship in any way, shape, or form, beautiful time for that. When the seahorse comes, it's often linked to romantic partners because they tend to mate for life. So there could be a big theme around that, romantic relationships for my Scorpios, and you either getting into a new relationship or deepening the relationship. So that's also a big theme for my Scorpios for the next 3 months. So we love that. And pay attention to, and because the seahorse is your animal guide for the next 3 months, pay attention to the ways that this particular animal shows up in your life in the symbol, like in a symbol, a sticker on a car, you're seeing a little seahorse video on Instagram, whatever it is, pay attention to the way the seahorse shows up. Even you're going on a date and the person has a seahorse somewhere on their t-shirt or something, then you know that's the universe being like, yep, that's the one, it's gonna be a good date, so pay attention to that. Even some of you might be going to the aquarium on a date and spend really good time there, but I love that. Seahorse is your animal guide for my Scorpios. Let's continue with your guardian for the next 3 months. So this could be God, Goddess. Let's see who comes through. Look, we have Asclepius, Sacred Medicine. Yeah, I said that the well-being, your health is super important to you the next 3 months. You guys are really honing in on wanting to take care of yourself, wanting to take care of your body. I told you, I see you guys really prioritizing your well-being, wanting to take care and making sure like you're sleeping well and eating well and drinking well. I see some of you going on a retreat. I see some of you prioritizing their physical health journey. I see some of you deciding to get back into a certain like routine of meditation and of really like spiritual hygiene or physical hygiene. There's really a big focus on well-being for my Scorpios, that you guys really want to feel well in the next 3 months. You're prioritizing that, you're putting that at the forefront. We love that. And so obviously this is where Asclepius is coming in. He's a Greek god of health, of medicine. So he's encouraging you to pour your efforts into that, into taking care of yourself, because it will bring beautiful results. We love that. Okay, let's continue with your crystal for the next 3 months. If you guys like to work with gems, crystals, anything like that, let's see. We have kyanite, not sure how you say that in English. It's linked to self-expression. If you have any kind of projects that require you to be a little bit more in the light, in the public light, maybe you have to do some kind of public speaking, being more vocal, maybe you have to be like share certain online presence or anything like that, then working with Kyanite the next 3 months could really help my Scorpios do that. Beautiful. And let's pull some tarot cards. Let's see what else we are missing, anything else we need to know about this summer for you guys. So let's see, what do we need to know for my Scorpios for the next 3 months? King of Pentacles. For me, we're going back to this idea of wanting to really take care of yourself, of your environment, of your body. The King of Pentacles is all about that. This is also a great sign for anyone who has certain projects at work, or if you are pouring effort into your career. The King of Pentacles showing up is saying this is going to bring some results, so be confident in your efforts that they will pay off. Specifically, I'm hearing if it's related to career. So whether it's like you're taking a certification, or you are, if you have your own business, you're launching a product or a new service or something, this is going to be going really well. Like, this is good news, specifically in the career sense. So we love that. Let's see what else for my Scorpios. What do we need to know? We have the Empress. I love that. The Empress, for me, she is linked to this particular card of like really feeling fulfilled, feeling abundant, taking care of yourself. Look, she's enjoying a luxurious bath. This might be you guys. This might be my Scorpios, you know. We said some of you are traveling. This might be the vibe. You might be traveling, and then when you get there, enjoying a nice bath, enjoying sleeping in, enjoying like taking care of yourself, relaxing, taking care of your body. We love that. So the Empress is all about well-being, is all about abundance, is all about nourishing yourself, nurturing yourself. And for me, when I see this, it's a confirmation of the traveling some of you guys might be doing. Some of you might be going somewhere very sunny. You'll have to let me know in the comments. But yeah, I see some of you going somewhere beautiful, maybe tropical or somewhere sunny. Let's see. Oh my God, we have the Emperor. Okay, so again, we are going back to the idea is that for those of you who've been who have big goals in the career sense, yeah, this is a great time. King of Pentacles and the Emperor, this is a big yes. If you've been thinking about launching your business, launching a new product, launching a new service, going after a certain like qualification at work, taking on a new responsibility, changing job, building up your CV, whatever it may be, taking a course, whatever it is. Specifically here, I'm hearing career sense. It's a big yes for you guys. This is, you know, green light all around in terms of career, in terms of like work, finances, anything like that, investments. Yes, yes, yes. Great next 3 months for that. It's interesting because the summer is not normally necessarily a time where people are working hard. Some people are more going on holiday and stuff like that. But my Scorpios, you've got places to be, you've got stuff you want to do, and you are committing, and it's bringing results, okay? Especially in work related fields. So that's awesome. I'm also seeing some of you actually retiring, and you're feeling super abundant, and you're finally being able to like get the life you want because you've been working hard, and now you're like, you know what? Now I'm gonna enjoy myself. I'm gonna enjoy the fruits of my labor. So I know that's super specific, but I would not be surprised if some of my Scorpios are retiring. You'll have to let me know. But that's coming through as well. Awesome. Okay, let's see what else for my Scorpios for the next 3 months. And my God, like you're getting all the success cards in terms of finances and material world, literally. King of Pentacles, Empress, Emperor, and Nine of Pentacles. You guys, you're making some serious coins in the next 3 months. So I don't know what's going on at work. I don't know what's going on in your finances. But if you have any investments, I'm also hearing some of you have been waiting to sell a house or sell something. It's coming through the next 3 months. You're getting that. You're getting some money through selling something. You're getting some cash in. Honestly, if you have any goals in the career sense, my Scorpios, go for it. This is the time. This is the time of the year where you focus in and you get stuff done, because you could see some amazing results. Truly. Just don't forget to take care of yourselves, because we did have a huge also theme around well-being. And hey, you know what? I'm thinking about it. Maybe some of you are thinking about getting into certain careers that are related to well-being, physical well-being, emotional well-being, or spiritual well-being. If that's the case, then this is also a big yes. I don't know, people who are thinking about going to medical school, people who are thinking about starting their yoga or meditation courses or people who are thinking of starting their business, about opening spiritual retreats. I don't know, I'm just giving random examples, but it's a big yes if you've been thinking about doing certain career choices around helping people feel well. I could have coaches, I could have physios, I could have people who do acupuncture. I don't know, there's like Reiki, whatever. There's tons of ways you can help people feel good. But for those of you who've been thinking about doing that and getting into that and pushing for that, again, huge yes from my Scorpios. Okay, can't wait to read your comments because I'm really seeing beautiful energies for you guys. Okay, wrap things up and pull a little mantra card for you, your little mantra or affirmation for the next 3 months, for the summer. Let's see, for my Scorpio, Sun, Moon, or Rising. I can be empathetic without being consumed by struggles that are not mine to carry. Okay, right, rotten apple. For me, this is going back to this rotten apple vibe. I think you're gonna realize you really dodged a bullet with that, whether it's with someone you're deciding to move away from, or whether it's realizing an old opportunity was actually not that great. You're gonna realize, you know what, I really avoided a lot of struggles there and I'm thankful. So that's your mantra for the next 3 months, my Scorpios. And I'm gonna stop here. So I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated for you. If you enjoyed it, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work and it really makes a huge difference. So thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that. Thank you for your presence. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be the reading for you. As I mentioned in the intro, today we're looking at June, July, and August, so summer or winter 2025, depending on where you guys live. Let's get into it. Let's have a look at the energies of the next 3 months for my Sagittarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's go. What are the vibes? What are the energies? We're going to pull some cards, and then we look at tarot. We're going to start with Oracle, so let's have a look. We have the Anchor, we have the Cloister, and let's pull one more. Let's see what are the vibes for my Sagittarius. Ooh, okay, we have the winning, like the trophy cup. Okay, so we have the Anchor, the Cloister, and the trophy. First up for my Sagittarius, obviously with the trophy, we have the idea of a win. You getting a win, you getting the chance to potentially literally win a trophy if you guys are participating in some kind of contest or competition. I don't know, maybe some of you are entering a race or you're entering some kind of competition, then there might be a trophy there. I'm hearing specifically for those of you who are entering something as like with a team, there could be a tournament or something that you guys win. Like literally if you have any sports you're doing, competition, anything like that, then any kind of activity where you can win a trophy. This is a specific message, but I see that for you guys. Specifically, if you are part of a team, some of you might be team captain, even I'm hearing things like that, so awesome. Metaphorically speaking, though, obviously, we're talking here about the feeling of winning. We love that. For my Sagittarius, months of June, July, and August might feel like you're winning at life a little bit more. You're feeling a little bit more lucky. You're feeling a little bit more like life is smiling on you, which is great. So this could be reflected at work. Maybe you're feeling like you're making progress. Maybe in your day-to-day life, things feel like they're aligning you a little bit easier. Maybe it's in your relationships. You feel like there's less drama or less like kind of conflict, and things just feel easier. And generally speaking, it feels like you're getting some wins in the next 3 months. Pay attention to not overly comparing yourself to other people though, because we do have the Cloister. The Cloister is giving that hermit energy, which is all about focusing on your own lane, focusing on yourself, your own growth, rather than looking at what other people are doing. So yes, there's great opportunity for winning, and because there's great opportunity for winning, you're really encouraged to spend time focusing on you, doing you, thinking about you, and not spending time looking at what the other people in your lane are doing, as that could generate some unhealthy competition, which could lead to you missing out on your cup. So you want to be focusing on spending time focusing on what can you do to win, what can you do to give yourself an advantage, what can you do to show up as the best version of yourself, and not already spend time comparing your pace to other people, comparing your wins to other people, comparing your progress to other people. As I'm hearing from my Sagittarius, that could be a little bit of a detriment the next 3 months, and that would actually get in the way of you appreciating and enjoying those potential wins that you could be claiming, right? The Cloister really invites to center yourself on yourself, to not pay attention to what's going on around you. Don't compare your journey, don't compare your path, don't compare your progress. Focus on you, and you're gonna get to what it is you want to get, okay? Especially because we also have the anchor. The anchor is all about literally anchoring in the present moment, being present, being grounded, and really doing what it is you can day to day to try and be in the present moment, to try and come back to your body, to try and come back to the here and now. So the vibes for my Sagittarius, generally speaking, great opportunities for wins, for success, as long as you focus on yourself, don't compare yourself to others, and as long as you try and make an effort to be present, to be in the moment, to really be in the here and now. This is really an advice to not spend too much time in the future and not spend too much time in the past, but to try and really be in the here and now, as this is where you'll be able to make the choices and get in the actions done that can lead you to these wins, okay? So it's gonna be your job the next 3 months to try and be as present as possible. I do see you guys being very focused though in the next 3 months. I see you guys kind of like, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing a student who goes to the library surrounded by books, and they've got their like drink, and they've got their notebook, and they've got their headphones in, and they're focused. Like they're not looking at what other people are doing. They're not looking at what other people are doing or reading or studying. They're literally in their little nook surrounded by books, and they have a goal, they have a plan, and they're here to execute it and to focus and to hone in and to lock in. I see my Sagittarius locked in this summer towards this cup, whatever this cup represents for you guys. Let's have a look at your other oracle cards. I've pre-pulled them, I've not yet looked at them, so we're gonna discover them together. First up, we have your animal card for you guys. So this is animal guide for the next 3 months. What do we have? We have the stag, which is linked to grace. Beautiful. For me, this stag and this idea of grace, it's going back to this idea of trying to be present, trying to be in the present moment, trying to really not let your mind take over by overly focusing on what's happened in the past or overly focusing on what could happen in the future, but trying to enjoy the here and now, trying to enjoy what's around you, trying to ground yourself, pay attention to your surroundings. You know, it's giving the vibe of like, let's say you're going for a walk in the forest. If you're not present, if you're not looking around, you might miss the fact that there's a stag near you, right? If you're in your thoughts, if you're listening to music, if you're not paying attention. Whereas if you're walking and you're in the forest, you're listening to the sound, you're looking around, that's when you can see the stag, right? Otherwise you might miss out on this majestic creature. That's the vibe I'm getting for you guys. Really trying to being in the moment, being mindful, trying to install mindfulness practices in your day-to-day is going to be super important for my Sagittarius for the next 3 months. I see you guys being very dedicated to do that so that you can enjoy those metaphorical visits of the stag when it shows up in your life. And so I love that. Beautiful. Okay, next up we have your guardian of the month of the next 3 months. So it could be a god, a goddess who's watching over you for the next 3 months. We have Thoth, divine masculine. This is the Egyptian god of wisdom, of knowledge, of astrology, of science, of magic, of philosophy. I mean, Thoth does it all. Thoth does it all. Super interesting that my Sagittarius have Thoth. In this deck, they link it to divine masculine, but I mean, like I said, he represents philosophy, magic, science, wisdom, knowledge, astrology, so many areas. So first, if I have anyone here who's been desiring to study, or it's you want to take a course, you want to read books about subjects you've never read before, you want to learn something new, you like a new language, or you want to take a new skill, learn about a new subject, read books, listen to podcasts, whatever, go back to school, anything like that. The fact that you have Thoth, huge, but like this is a huge yes from the universe saying go for it. This could be really beneficial for you, and it's gonna go really well. If you have any matters around education with Thoth, it's a good sign that things will work out great, as like I said, he kind of represents knowledge in general, so we love that. If I have anyone who wants to specifically is interested into getting into like studying occult science, astrology, divination, esoteric knowledge, this is also a big yes. If he's watching over you, he's encouraging you to dive deep, get your knowledge, learn about all of that. More generally speaking with Thoth here, the vibe is giving me is for me related to kind of taking your personal responsibility to heart and stepping up to the job, right? If you are thinking about winning, my Sagittarius is encouraged to have winner energy. You're encouraged to believe in yourself. You're encouraged to do your best. You're encouraged to show up the best way you can. You're really encouraged to show up as this winner, or like archetype, as this winner energy. You are really invited to step into version of yourself that feels like they're winning, that feels like they can do things, that feels like if they pour their hard work and they give it their best, they've got a chance at making things happen. Taurus really represents that, this idea of stepping up to sacred duty, awakening to your own wisdom, awakening to your own power, and even of showing the way for others, potentially. This is something that my Sagittarius are gonna have to potentially deal with. You might have more responsibility in the next 3 months in your family life. You might take on more responsibility. Maybe at work, you'll have more responsibility. I see you taking some kind of leader position as well, or mentor position for my Sagittarius with the presence of Taurus. So again, you can let me know in the comments if that resonates, but I wouldn't be surprised if you are either teaching, mentoring, or just taking on more responsibility in life in general, not just at work. Okay, next up we have your crystal for the next 3 months. So what's going to be, for those of you who like to work with crystals, who like to work with gems, what is going to be your crystal for the next 3 months? Let's see. We have obsidian linked to self-reflection. Obsidian is also really great for protecting yourself. So that might be something that you guys feel called to, carrying obsidian around you to protect your energy, to protect yourself. Remember, we had the cloister all about focusing on yourself, not comparing your journey to other people. So working with obsidian, meditating with obsidian, or carrying obsidian on you is also a way to protect your energy and to nurture this kind of like peaceful sanctuary you can create around your energy. Okay, let's pull some tarot cards, see what else we can pick up for my Sagittarius. Let's see. What else do we need to know about your summer, my Sagittarius? We have the Nine of Pentacles, gorgeous. Again, there's this idea of winning, of seeing success, of seeing rewards, of seeing results of your hard work, of feeling abundant. Again, there could be some great news at work, finances, exams, school, anything like that. It's like really good sign here of feeling a sense of independence and of feeling like, wow, I did that. I did that. I can't believe I'm hearing, I'm so proud of myself that I did that. This is what you guys are going to be thinking at the end of the summer. Regardless of what this is about, you are going to feel super proud of yourself by the end of the summer for managing to do what it is you've done. And it's giving it's giving fulfillment, it's giving pride, it's giving self-independence and self-reliance. We love it. Okay, let's continue. Let's see for my Sagittarius. What's the vibe? We have the Four of Cups. We'll pull a couple more. Queen of Cups, and we have the Six of Pentacles. Okay, with the Four of Cups and next to the Queen of Cups, I feel like my Sagittarius, in the summertime, this might not be the time where you guys are overly focused on interpersonal relationships, in the sense of, I don't see my Sagittarius being super cold to meet new people, date, meet new friends, expand your social circle. You might be very happy and content hanging out with the people in your life already. Like, I feel like you guys are going to want to prioritize quality over quantity in terms of relationships, interpersonal relationships in the next 3 months. I see my Sagittarius really wanting to spend time with their loved ones, like their friends, family, partner, and not necessarily desiring to be extra social, to meet lots of people, but rather, again, prioritizing quality over quantity. So that's because you guys are really focusing and honed in. I told you guys are locked in. Trophy, metaphorical trophy you're working toward. And we see that with the Six of Pentacles, because the effort you're pouring in, you're getting back. So I don't see you guys pouring a ton of effort into branching out, dating, meeting lots of new friends, etc. On the contrary, I see you guys very locked in for some kind of like material goal or career goal or day-to-day goal, physical health goal, something like that. I see that taking priority. However, with the Queen of Cups, with this, we do see you still being very supported, loved, just with maybe fewer people around you, rather than spending a lot of time surrounded by a lot of people. I see you guys, again, we have the cloister, so it's more about little groups, right? Spending time with a little group, wanting to not be surrounded by a crowd. I see you guys wanting to prioritize, really cherry picking the people you spend time with, avoiding busy places, avoiding crowds, things like that. Again, it's more, I keep hearing quality over quantity for my Sagittarius. You'll have to let me know how that translates. But at the bottom of the deck, what do we have? We have the Queen of Pentacles. So again, there's really an opportunity for some kind of big achievement there in the material realm. I told you there's potential for a win here, right? We have the Nine of Pentacles, the Queen of Pentacles. With the Queen of Pentacles, we also have a reinforcement of the message around being present, grounding yourself. If you can, this summer, spend time in nature. I'm hearing if you can, because we had the Stag, we have the Queen of Pentacles, we have the Anchor. For me, there's also a message there encouraging you to potentially spend more time in nature if you can in the next 3 months. Maybe whether it's you going for a walk, you spending time sitting outside in the garden, or whatever it may be, whatever is accessible to you. There's also a big encouragement to use time in nature as a way to ground, to being present. I'm also seeing that as being important for my Sagittarius this season, this summer. Okay, let's wrap things up with pulling a little mantra for you guys. Let's see for my Sagittarius, what is the mantra? What is the affirmation? We have, I am a work in progress. Again, don't compare your wins to other people's wins. I see my Sagittarius with big opportunity for win, for success in specifically material realm, career realm, school, or like anything, material related, finances, anything like that, as long as you don't compare your growth with other people. Lock in, focus on yourself, don't compare yourself, focus on you, remain grounded, stay in the present moment, and that's the key for my Sagittarius. Okay, so that's what I'm seeing for you guys. I hope you enjoyed your reading. I hope it resonated for you. If it did, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work. They make a huge difference, so thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that. I want to thank you for being here, and until next time, I'm sending you so much good vibes, and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye! Okay, my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising, this is going to be the reading for you. As I mentioned in the intro, today we're looking at June, July, and August, so summer or winter 2025, depending on where you guys live. And we're going to start by pulling some oracle cards, and then we'll move on to tarot. So let's see. We are going to start by looking at the energies of the next 3 months for my Capricorns. Let's have a look. What are the vibes? What are the energies for you guys? For my Capricorn, we have the equivalent of the Death card in tarot. Okay. We'll be talking about transitions here. Let's see, for the next 3 months for my Capricorns, what are the vibes? We have movement with this double-decker bus right there. This is making me think of Harry Potter. Okay. And let's pull one more for my Capricorn, Sun, Moon, or Rising for the summer. Okay, yep, I see what's going on, because we have the equivalent of transition or change with this particular card, which is the equivalent of the Death card in tarot. So it's all about leaving something behind and starting something new. And then we literally have the card of speed, of movement, of acceleration next to the dead end card, which represents like the end of a street. My Capricorns might be feeling like you are stagnating right now. There might be a moment in your life where you feel like nothing is happening, you feel stuck, you feel like things are not progressing, things are not moving, and that has been potentially creating a sense of unease, of unrest, of anxiety, of worry, or of like restlessness. I don't know, maybe at work you feel a bit restless or bored, maybe in your personal relationship, like interpersonal relationships, there might be a sense of stagnation. You feel like things are not progressing. Maybe it's your own personal goals and passion project, things like that, that you feel like you've reached a dead end. I sense stagnation on your mind, my Capricorn, and feeling frustrated about this. Let me tell you, the next 3 months, change is coming. There's transformation on the horizon. This is the first card you pull. Again, this represents the metaphorical death. Obviously, we're not talking about literal death here. We're talking about metaphorical death, a transition, a change. And this change is initiated internally. So I see my Capricorns literally taking drastic action in the next 3 months to change something. I would not be surprised if some of you change jobs, change career completely, do a pivot, do a 180 and completely change your career, your job. I see people changing completely their day-to-day activities, their routines. I see people really pivoting, doing a 180, initiating change in some way or another about where they live, about what they do for a living, about who they spend time with, about the kind of person they are. This could touch many areas of your life, but really I see my Capricorns being fed up with something, a situation, an area of your life, and you deciding to take action, to literally be this bus, and you deciding, you know what, I'm sick of waiting for the bus. I've been at the bus stop for ages and the bus is not coming, it's not arriving. I feel like I keep missing the bus. I feel like I can never get on the metaphorical bus. Well, guess what? You know what? I'm gonna find my own bus and I'm gonna drive it myself because I'm sick of waiting for the metaphorical bus to come. So I'm gonna find my own and drive it myself. That's the vibe I'm picking up from my Capricorn, which is a silly metaphor, but you get the vibe. It's like deciding to take matters into your own hands. For example, you're waiting for paperwork being postponed and delayed, and you're trying to ring the people in charge of the paperwork and they are not picking up. I see my Capricorns in the next 3 months deciding to literally drive to the office, get there, ask for to meet the person in charge here and now, and being like, okay, I'm here right now. You get sorted my paperwork and you tell me what's going on because I'm sick of waiting for you to do your job, right? That's the vibe. It's giving like I'm taking matters into my own hands. Again, this is just a silly example, but you get the gist. I really see my Capricorn deciding to initiate some kind of change because they're sick and tired of waiting for something or someone that's external to them, or because they're getting tired of a feeling of stagnation and or boredom. So we could have huge changes here. We could have, like I said, change of job, change of scenery, change of where you live, changing your interior, changing the way you dress, changing your decor of your house, changing your personal routine. Maybe some of you are going to work from home because you're sick of going to the office. Maybe you're going part-time. Maybe you are deciding to take on more hours at work, less hours at work. There could be so many things. Maybe you're deciding to go from working for someone else to start your own business. Maybe you are deciding to live with other people to living on your own, or the contrary. Like literally, I see you initiating a big change in the next 3 months, my Capricorn, and it's something that is impulsive yet thought through. Okay, people around you are going to think you're being impulsive, but you've thought about this for months, because my Capricorns are not impulsive. If you do something, it's because you've thought things through. You might have not told people around you were going to do that. You might surprise yourself in doing that, but trust me, it's something you've thought about it for a long time. So whilst other people around you might be like, whoa, why are you being so spontaneous and impulsive? Deep down, you know it's been a long time you've been thinking about initiating this change or going through this transformation. So I'm excited to read your comments and see how that resonates. Let's continue with your oracle cards, my Capricorn. Let's see. So I've pulled all of these, but I've not yet checked them out. So we're going to discover them together. First up, we have your animal guide for the next 3 months. What is your spirit animal guide? Look. We have the butterfly linked to change. Yep, I told you, this is a time of change. You guys are deciding to leave something behind, a version of yourself, a job, a relationship, a home, whatever it is, a style of clothes, whatever, and you're deciding to be the butterfly, to transform, to reinvent yourself. You can be whoever you want to be, my Capricorns, and you're really making the most of that in the next 3 months. So the butterfly truly is your animal guide. Beautiful. Pay attention to the way the butterfly is showing up in your life in the next 3 months. Pay attention if you're seeing a butterfly in real life, anything like that. This is a big synchronicity. So the butterfly will be your animal guide for the next 3 months. Next up, we have your guardian for the next 3 months. So your god, goddess, guardian who's watching over you. For my Capricorns for this summer, look, I can't make this shit up, you guys. We have the butterfly maiden, and again, it's linked to beautiful change. That's crazy. I think this is a Native American goddess. If I'm not mistaken, specifically Hopi goddess. You can let me know in the comments if you know, but I'm pretty sure it's Hopi goddess. But again, we have this butterfly, right? So linked to transformation, to change, embracing newness, embracing transformation, whether it's changing the way you dress, changing your job, changing the people you hang out with, changing your habits, changing your mentality, your perspective, your vision, your goals, changing home, whatever it may be. There's definitely, we're going from this dead end to this full force, let's go, accelerating double bus vibe, going full speed ahead kind of vibe. And I love that for my Capricorns. Okay, so far, this is so funny, the synchronicities for you. Okay, let's move on to your crystals. So if you like to work with crystals with gem, what is your crystal for the next 3 months? We have Labradorite. Oh, that's one of my favorite crystals actually. And it's linked to imagination. You know what this means? The sky is the limit, my Capricorns. Your imagination is only the limit. But truly, to go from this stagnation to this full acceleration, count on your imagination. If you can imagine it, if you can visualize it, if you can believe in it, chances are you can make it happen, my Capricorn, especially in the next 3 months, as we really have this idea of you going from this caterpillar cocoon stagnation vibe to the butterfly who can spread their wings, fully explore the world and enjoy their freedom. That's going to be you, my Capricorns, going from the cocoon to the butterfly. So working with Labradorite or meditating with Labradorite or carrying Labradorite can be a support for you if you like to work with crystals, obviously. Okay, let's pull some tarot cards for you guys, see what else we can pick up for your summer. It's big summer for my Capricorn, right? There's definitely a lot going on, but it's exciting, I think. And I think a lot of it is something you're choosing. It's an internal shift. You guys are deciding to shift, to transform into something. And I'm excited for you. Let's see. You are deciding to cut some cords, remove yourself from this stuck. Literally, this is you right now. I see it, my Capricorn. You feel stuck. You feel like you can't move on. You feel like you're literally being held by something or someone, a situation, a habit. I've been even hearing some people wanting to stop smoking, or cut down on smoking, and that's the summer they're gonna tackle that. I'm not assuming anything, you guys, but I'm literally hearing quitting smoking or cutting down smoking is as part of some of you guys wanting to free yourself from this habit for the next 3 months. Generally speaking, though, this is the vibe right now. It feels like you are being held, you are not free of movement, and so literally you're spending the next 3 months focused on freeing yourself, on releasing yourself from this situation, from this feeling, from this state, mental headspace, and you're deciding to transform, right? Like the butterfly. Look, Queen of Wands. You're tapping into your inner power, tapping into your confidence, tapping into your charisma, tapping into your inner badass, and realizing, you know what, I can choose differently. If this is not working out for me, I have choices. I can initiate change. I can make my own decisions. I can take back control. If the bus isn't stopping, I can find my own bus and drive it myself. Metaphor. But that's the vibe, okay? Let's see what else. Wow, we have Queen of Wands and Knight of Wands. Literally nothing can stand in your way. Once you free yourself from this, once you extract yourself from this feeling of stuckness, from this feeling of having no choices or feeling like things are stagnating, once you reclaim the power, you take back the reign, literally nothing can stand in your way, my Capricorns. You are going full force, full speed ahead, and you're able to charge towards what it is you want, right? With this butterfly archetype, flying, finally regaining a sense of independence, regaining a sense of freedom. So that's exciting. There's a lot of passion there. There's a lot of inner fire there. We have the Lovers. Follow your heart, my Capricorn. Follow your heart. Follow what makes you feel alive, what makes you feel good, what makes you feel joyful. This is the advice from Tarot right now. It's all about following your joy, following what makes you feel excited, following what makes you feel alive. This will also be the way to get out from this dead end and to reclaim a sense of freedom, okay? With the Lovers, it's all about choosing to fly, choosing to be free, choosing to embrace change, choosing to initiate transformation, choosing to be someone different, or choosing to have a different view of life, or choosing to, embrace new perspective. Really, the invitation here is for you to choose what makes you feel good, what makes you feel joyful, what makes you feel alive. That could also be your compass for the next 3 months, my Capricorns. And at the bottom of the deck, we have the Four of Wands. Gorgeous Four of Wands, meaning that there will be opportunities for celebration, for a quality time spent with people you enjoy. There might be some weddings, there might be some birthdays, some anniversaries, some celebrations, opportunities to reunite with friends, with family, things like that. With the Four of Wands, we often talk about gatherings and celebrations that we can share with other people, making beautiful memories together. So that's awesome. I love that. And you know, summertime is often a good excuse to spend time with people you love, maybe going on a little trip with the people you love, or spending time with your friends, something like that. There's definitely opportunity for my Capricorns here for a beautiful celebration of some form. We're going to wrap things up by pulling a little mantra, little affirmation for my Capricorn. So what's the affirmation? What is the mantra for my Capricorns for the next 3 months for the summer? Let's see. We have, I am as worthy of my dreams as everyone else. Oh my God, you guys, perfect. This is the perfect end of the reading. Exactly. You're worthy of your dreams. You're worthy of feeling free. You're worthy of spreading your wings. You're worthy of this change you desire. You're worthy of this new life you're choosing. You are worthy of your dreams, my Capricorns. I love that for you so much. Okay, so that's all I'm saying for you guys. I hope you enjoyed this reading. I hope it resonated. If it did, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work. It really makes a huge difference. So thank you so much for taking the time to do that. Thank you for your presence. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye. Okay, my Aquarius, Sun, Moon, or Rising. Welcome to your reading. As I mentioned in the intro, today we're looking at June, July, and August, so summer or winter, depending on where you live. And we're gonna get started straight in by looking at the energies of the next 3 months for my Aquarius. Let's see what are the vibes, what are the energies for the next 3 months for my Aquarius, Sun, Moon, and Rising. Let's go. We have the Joy card jumping in. We love that. Love to see it. Let's see. We'll pull a couple more. What are the vibes? What are the energies? My God, so far so good. We have the Rose. Let's pull one more for my Aquarius. And we have the Help card, which is one of my favorite cards of this deck. This little turtle helping the mouse crossing the river. How cute is that? I can't, you guys. This is too cute. It represents help and support and friendship. So adorable. Okay. My Aquarius, honestly, great vibes. Great vibe for my Aquarius. We have the card of celebration, joy, fulfillment, emotional fulfillment, opportunities for you guys to enjoy yourself, to have a good time. We could have people going on holiday here. We could have people having more opportunity to do things they like, to do like things that they enjoy, spending time with the people they enjoy, spending time on their hobbies, on their projects, like reaching a certain milestone or a certain bucket list item that makes you feel super happy. I'm seeing travel for my Aquarius, or at least like exploring something new or doing something new that's exciting. I'm seeing you going on a little adventure. I'm seeing you like, yeah, I'm getting adventure quest vibes from Aquarius, which is super fun and great. So you don't have to let me know what you guys have planned. If you're planning some road trips, hiking trips, if you're planning on, I don't know, going for a camping somewhere, you know, those vibes. And we also have the rose right in the middle, the rose indicating harmonious relationships. So great time for your family dynamics, interpersonal relationships, friendships, romantic relationships. Honestly, next 3 months, things are smooth, things are harmonious. Could have even new relationships blooming, right? With the idea of the rose blooming. For those of you who are currently dating, looking for a partner, there's definitely opportunities for a new relationship to bloom right there. So we love that. We have the idea with the rose as well as of a gift. So we could have engagements for my Aquarius. We could have like a surprise gift, some like your romantic partner surprising you with a trip, camping trip or something, like I said, engagement. We could have a friend surprising you with a visit. There's like an element of surprise here as a gift, which is also a surprise, and it's something that is making you feel super excited. You know, in my mind's eye, I'm seeing like people who, the videos where parents surprise their kids saying we're going to Disney in the morning, and the kids are screaming. They're so excited because they never thought they would be going. Those kind of surprise. That's the vibe, you know. I'm seeing, maybe some of you guys will go to Disney, you know, that would be fun, but that's it's an example. You get what I'm saying. I'm seeing a surprise for you guys that is exciting and making you happy. So we love that. And there's definitely a big emphasis on friendship and support. So don't hesitate to ask for help this next 3 months, my Aquarius. Specifically, I'm hearing if you guys have to move, if you have to work something, like if there's something at work that you're requiring help, if you have to branch out at work, if in your personal life for a reason or another you're needing a little bit of support, don't hesitate to ask for help. There are people around you who are just waiting for you to ask. They would love to help you, but they're waiting for you to ask, especially for those of you who are normally a little bit independent and who want to do stuff on their own because they don't like to ask for help, because they like to prove it they can do it on their own. Maybe the next 3 months you might feel actually more inclined to be like, you know what, I know I could do this on my own, but also if I ask for help, it would probably be easier and make my life simpler. So maybe I'm just gonna ask for help this one time and everyone will be happy about it, you know? So there is really an invitation to branch out, reach out, ask for support, ask for help, as I really see there's people around you who are just waiting for you to ask, and they would be very happy to give you the hand and support you need, okay? Also, this is reciprocal. So we could be having some Aquarius in my group here who are asked for support by some of their friends needing a little bit of help. They're going through a tough time, they're going through a challenge or whatever it may be. You might be asked for more support, more help this next 3 months. And I see you guys being very willing to give it. And actually this bringing a sense of fulfillment, helping the relationship bloom even deeper, bringing a sense of joy and feeling fulfilled from being able to help a person you love. So that's also, you know, it's a two-way street, but really beautiful anyway, energy of giving and receiving. I love that. Okay, let's have a look at your other oracle cards. I've pre-pulled them, but I've not yet looked at them, so we're going to discover them together. First up, we have your animal guide for the next 3 months. So what is your animal guide from my Aquarius? We have the owl, linked to intuition, gorgeous. We had another sign where owls were important. I've literally filmed all 12 signs in the space of like 2 days, so I've forgotten now which sign it was. If you've watched your sun, moon, or rising on another sign and there was a huge emphasis on the owl, then this is definitely a reinforcement of that message, because I remember one of my signs that had a huge emphasis on the owl being important, and you have this emphasis as well for my Aquarius, okay? So the owl is your animal guide. It's linked to your intuition, trusting your intuition, trusting yourself, trusting in your ability to seeing things clearly, trusting your gut instincts. These are going to be very important this summer, my Aquarius. Let's continue with your guardian, so your god or goddess of the next 3 months, who is watching over my Aquarius for the summer. Let's see. Ooh, we have Nemetona, and it's linked to safe space. I think this is a Celtic goddess, if I'm not mistaken, but maybe more Germanic, you know, than British Celtic, if that makes sense. You know, more that side of Europe than that side of Europe. But yeah, Nemetona linked to safe space. So this, there's a few things coming through. First up, with Nemetona, we have huge emphasis and encouragement and invitation to spending time in nature for my Aquarius, spending time specifically in the forest. I told you I see you guys going on an adventure, going camping, going on a road trip, going on a little adventure somewhere. I would not be surprised if it's linked to spending time in a beautiful scenery, maybe a national park, maybe a forest, you know, beautiful mountains or something. There's definitely a big emphasis on spending time in nature and an encouragement to spending time in nature in the next 3 months, as Nemetona is linked to the idea of sacred groves, like sacred trees, sacred places in the forest. We also have with Nemetona with this sacred space and sacred grove kind of idea, an encouragement to nurture your own sacred space. So in what way can you potentially build your own altar, tend to your home, tend to your room? This next 3 months, maybe you want to redecorate, maybe you want to declutter, get rid of stuff that no longer, you know, make you happy, and maybe you want to change things around your home, your room. You might want to be decluttering some stuff. You might want to be, like I said, redecorating. It could be also internal, like your own sacred space within. So that means tending to your mind, tending to your body. In what ways can you create sacredness and a sacred grove within your mind, your body, your soul, or your environment? So that's also a little invitation for my Aquarius. You might want to build yourself a sanctuary, metaphorically or literally, this summer, and enjoy spending time there. Enjoy, spending time by your altar or spending time at home, doing things that you enjoy in your sacred space where things feel meaningful and simple and yet joyful. Okay. Lastly, with Nemetona, we do have, again, like I said, it's very much emphasis on spending time in nature. Specifically, I'm hearing druidry. So I know this is definitely not gonna resonate with everyone, but if I have any one of you who has been interested in learning about plants, learning about trees, learning about druidry, and I think that's how you say it, then this is a big yes. So that's coming up. So just putting that out there, if that was of interest to any of you, maybe the next 3 months you decide to really commit to those kind of studies, read more books about that, and deepen your knowledge about that. Okay, let's continue with your crystal for the next 3 months. For those of you who like to work with stones and gems, what is your crystal? We have garnet linked to bravery. I love that. Again, we're going back to this idea of going on an adventure of some form, of potentially going outside your comfort zone a little bit this summer, potentially doing something you are not used to doing, right? Maybe you're going camping and you're not normally the camping kind of person, or maybe you're going somewhere you've never been. There's definitely an idea of, generally speaking, going outside your comfort zone a little bit in the next 3 months, my Aquarius, to do something fun, right? Doesn't feel like a huge challenge in the sense of you're being forced outside your comfort zone and it feels unpleasant. It's more like I'm going outside of my comfort zone because it feels exciting, a little bit scary, but in a good way, if that makes sense. Okay, so let's continue. We are going to pull some tarot cards and see what else we can find out about your summer for you guys. So let's see. What do we have? Look, we have the devil. Some of you are facing some of your fears. Again, some of you might not be the camping type. You might normally be the 5-star hotel kind of person that has never slept outside in nature. And this summer, you're like, you know what? I'm going to go with my friends on this national park trip, and we're going to be hiking and we're going to be camping. And yeah, it might feel a little bit scary, but I'm going to be brave and I'm going to do it. The devil and this particular help card, I want to go back to the idea that there is support around you. So if you're facing a situation that makes you feel a little bit overwhelmed, that makes you feel a little bit scared, that makes you feel a little bit just pressured in any kind of way or challenged in any kind of way, just a situation that feels a little bit like, whoa, I'm not sure how I'm going to handle this. You got people around you who are very willing to help you out. You just need to ask, right? There's support there. So don't forget, my Aquarius, you don't have to do it all on your own. If at work you feel like you're drowning, you've got too much going on, there's definitely opportunities there for colleagues or people around you who could help you out, share the workload, maybe change your hours, things like that, adapt. There are solutions and help and support near you. I'm just hearing that potentially sometimes some of you want to prove you can do it on your own when you don't necessarily need to. Okay, so I feel like my Aquarius are going to be working on that the next 3 months as well, working on accepting that whilst you can do a lot on your own, you don't always have to. You can ask for help, you can accept someone's hand at something and asking for support. That doesn't make you less worthy, that doesn't make you less successful, that doesn't make you less powerful or anything like that. So that's something also I feel like my Aquarius are going to be working on in the next 3 months. The idea that whilst you know you can do things on your own, you don't always have to. Okay, this is working on independence versus collaboration, things like that. Okay, let's continue. We have the Queen of Cups, gorgeous. I told you, great next 3 months, great time for harmonious relationships, meeting new people in the sense of romantic partners, spending quality time with your romantic partner. Again, we could have engagements, we could have beautiful surprises. In terms of interpersonal relationships, there's really no gray cloud over your heads, my Aquarius. For that, if it's family dynamic, things are going well, smooth, beautiful, gorgeous, harmonious. So beautiful energies in terms of interpersonal relationships. We love it. And we also have the Empress and the Ten of Cups. Yeah, truly, if you guys have plans with your kids, if you have plans to spend time with your family, with your friends, with your partner, this is going to be a fantastic time for that. If you have any trips planned or just quality time spent with your family, you know, sometimes in the summer, there's people have more time spent with their kids, stuff like that, then definitely it's going to be gorgeous. Great memories, beautiful time, making new memories, feeling joyful and a sense of celebration, of enjoying life's moments. So really gorgeous energies in that realm. As well as for me, the Empress is going back to this idea of Nemetona, inviting you to create your little sanctuary, because look how chill and abundant and secure she feels in her little tub. Like she's having the best time. She's giving herself an hour in the bath and literally having the most amazing time. And that's the vibe for my Aquarius. This is the dream right there. This is the goal. Trying to create those little sacred spaces, sacred moment for you to enjoy yourself, to relax, to recharge your batteries. That is the goal for the next 3 months, my Aquarius, and I love that for you guys so much. So let's wrap things up by pulling a little affirmation. Honestly, great energies for my Aquarius. I love that. Let's see your affirmation for the next 3 months. Affirmation, your mantra. What is it? I'm reclaiming my childlike sense of wonder. How gorgeous is that? Beautiful. And look at this cowboy potato, okay? And you know what? I'm so here for this. This cowboy potato. Yeehaw. So cute. Okay, my Aquarius, thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed your reading. If you did, don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work. Thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that. It really makes a huge difference. Thank you for your presence. And until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye. Okay, my Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising, welcome to your reading. As I mentioned in the intro, today we're looking at June, July, and August of 2025. So summer or winter, depending on where you live, but I'm calling it summer as most of you watching are in the northern hemisphere. We're going to get started by looking at the energies of the next 3 months. So we're going to dive straight in. Let's see, what are the vibes, what are the energies for my Pisces, Sun, Moon, or Rising for the next 3 months? What are the energies for you guys? Let's find out. Okay, we have the desert. We have this meditation card, and we'll pull one more. And we have the creativity card. Okay, so my Pisces this summer or in the next 3 months could be hitting a point where you feel a little bit like you've reached some kind of metaphorical desert. Like potentially you might get to a point where things don't feel as inspiring anymore. Maybe you're feeling a little bit bored. Maybe you're feeling a little bit like uninspired, like I said. There's just a sense of reaching a point. Maybe it's at work. Things are getting repetitive and things are not feeling very exciting. Maybe it's in your relationships, interpersonal relationships. There come a time where in the next 3 months, you might get to a point where, I don't know, there's just a bit of a lack of excitement. And that was the case for a couple of my signs. So I think that might be due to collective energies and at least the start of the summer not feeling as exciting as you wished. But let me tell you, this feeling of stagnation will definitely not last, as on the other side of that, we have meditation, relaxation, alignment, as well as creativity. So this area of boredom or of stagnation will not last, my Pisces, and it's almost like you have to feel this in order to get there, right? You're gonna have to go through a phase where, again, work feels a little bit repetitive, or you're getting bored with how you spend your evenings, or you're getting bored with your weekend plans, for you to suddenly decide to, you know what, shake things up, feeling inspired again, feeling creative again, and reconnecting with things you enjoy, reconnecting with yourself so that you can feel more aligned again. So it's almost like my Pisces have to reach the desert to then get to the oasis. So it feels like for my Pisces, you have to walk through the desert, metaphorically, to find your creativity again, to find your passion again, to find a sense of alignment again, or a sense of well-being again, a sense of just purpose again. So don't be afraid of this feeling of the desert. We all go through it. We all go through those phases where we just don't feel super inspired, or we feel like we are just, repeating the movement. We wake up day to day and things start to feel the same. It's during those times in our life that we can have that spark again for things to shake things up, for us to make a change, or for us to decide to do things a little bit differently, or to even realize we're walking through the desert right now. And that is exactly going to be the case for my Pisces. From that, you are able to feel more creative again, more passionate again and again. We do have a renewed sense of fulfillment, which is awesome. So we're going to continue putting some cards, seeing what this is about, but already that's what I'm picking up on for my Pisces. Let's continue. I have some pre-pulled oracle cards. I've not yet looked at them. We're going to discover them together, and then we'll pull some tarot. But first, let's look at your animal guide for the next 3 months. What is your animal guide? Look, we have the dog linked to forgiveness. Okay, I understand a little bit more now. This desert, metaphorical desert, it could also be potentially an emotional desert, and where you've bottled some emotions, my Pisces, or something happens that causes you to just potentially close up for a little bit and keep your feelings to yourself. Maybe a disagreement, maybe a disappointment, something, a conflict with someone or something that causes you, or with yourself, just something that's disappointing with the way things have worked out. There's something there with the dog about forgiveness that is letting me know that part of my Pisces coming out of this metaphorical desert is through forgiving. And specifically, I'm hearing forgiving yourself. So while some of you might have been potentially pushing some emotion down in the previous months, because, I don't know, you had a lot going on, you didn't have time to process your feelings, you didn't have time to grieve or get angry or get sad or whatever it is you were feeling, I see you in the next 3 months making more of an effort to actually feel those feelings and to process what it is you need to process. And this process is actually helping you moving away from the desert into feeling a lot more aligned and inspired again. And the key to that with this particular dog card is through forgiveness, because literally dogs are so forgiving. Like they, if you shout at them because they've done something bad, 2 minutes later they've forgiven you and they're ready to give you so many kisses and hugs because they love you unconditionally. So they represent unconditional love, and they're inviting you to love yourself unconditionally, my Pisces. So there's going to be a big theme as well for you guys around forgiveness. Specifically, I'm hearing forgiving yourself as well as unconditionally loving yourself. This is also a big theme for my Pisces, something you guys might be working on in the next 3 months. Healing some wounds, dealing with some hurt, and deciding to work and deciding to pour energy and love into yourself and into your relationship with yourself. Obviously, pay attention to the way the dog shows up in your life. We might have some people who actually adopt or get dogs and spend time with dogs, work with dogs, all of that. Gorgeous. If that's the case, I'm so excited for you, as I love dogs. Okay, let's check out your guardian for the next 3 months. So this is going to be a god or a goddess who is watching over you, my Pisces, for the next 3 months. Let's see. We have the High Priest of Atlantis chakra healing. Yeah, remember, there's a sense of alignment through you, healing a certain wound, deciding to pour more love into yourself, deciding to forgive yourself. There is also an opportunity to heal, to align, and to feel, perfectly balanced again, to meet yourself again, to love yourself again, to enjoy and appreciate yourself again. So honestly, my Pisces, I see this next 3 months as being very healing and quite beautiful energies, very compassionate, kind, and healing energies for you guys. Let's continue with your crystal for the next 3 months. If you like to work with gems, if you like to work with crystals, let's see what we have. Look, we have rose quartz, empathy. Rose quartz is the stone of compassion, the stone of self-love, of love in general. If you need to invite more love, more self-love, more compassion, more empathy in your life, rose quartz is the perfect stone for that. So you can meditate with that, carry it on you, work with these energies, but it kind of ties in with everything we've talked about for my Pisces. Beautiful. Okay, let's continue. We are going to pull some tarot cards and see what we get, any other information about the next 3 months for you guys. What do we need to know for my Pisces, sun, moon, or rising? judgment. Yeah, this is making so much sense because we see this like, you see how they're being saved. I see my Pisces as actually saving themselves in the next 3 months. I don't know what it is you guys have gone through or are going through right now with this metaphorical desert, but I see you guys actually carrying yourself out of it. You're the person saving yourself. You're the person giving yourself a fresh lens at life, a fresh outlook. You're giving yourself more love. You're giving yourself forgiveness. You're giving yourself creativity. You're giving yourself alignment. Whatever it is, empathy, compassion, you are the one saving yourself in the next 3 months, my Pisces, and that's powerful and that's healing and that's really, really magical. So again, really beautiful energies for my Pisces. It's going to be a powerful season, right? For my Pisces. I haven't looked at the astrology, but I'm curious to know what's going on in the chart for my Pisces because the energies are very different to all of my other signs. For you guys, there's a big work on maybe check out what's going on with Chiron in your chart, my Pisces, because this is giving Chiron. This is giving like the wounded healer when a wound is actually bringing medicine on the other hand of it. So check out also what's going on with Chiron for you guys in your chart for the next 3 months, as I have a feeling this could also be the influence there. Okay, let's continue for my Pisces. What else do we need to know about the next 3 months? We have the Queen of Swords. We have the Nine of Cups. Yeah, I told you, gorgeous. And we have the Hierophant. My God, gorgeous. Okay, with the Nine of Cups, we're going back to the idea that you're leaving the metaphorical desert behind and you are entering an era of feeling more fulfilled, more joyful, more creative. So we love that, right? The Nine of Cups is all about joy, the joy that we have generated ourselves. Beautiful. For me, it really goes back to the idea of compassion and unconditional love towards yourself, my Pisces. And these actions, these choices you're making are really leading to you feeling good, you feeling happy, you feeling fulfilled. So we love that. With the Queen of Swords, we have an invitation for you guys to being honest, to speaking your truth in the next 3 months, to sharing what's on your mind, to using your throat chakra, right? We had the idea of chakras here. There could be an even bigger emphasis on the throat chakra for my Pisces around being honest, speaking your truth, sharing your opinion, sharing your ideas, being more vocal in general. That's going to be a big part of the next 3 months. And finally, we have the Hierophant, which goes back to this idea of alignment, of finally after the desert, once you walk through the desert, on the other side of that, there's alignment, there's balance, there's feeling like you belong, feeling like you're where you're meant to be, feeling like you're the person you're meant to be, feeling like you finally like who you're seeing. When you look at yourself, when you like check in with yourself, you're feeling a lot more aligned, like you're making the right choices for you, like you're doing what's right for you. And that's so beautiful, my Pisces. I love that. Honestly, again, very different energies from everyone else's, but very powerful and deep reading for you guys. So I really love that. Okay, we're going to wrap things up by looking at your mantra or affirmation for the next 3 months. So what is your mantra? What is your affirmation, my Pisces? My pain can be transformed. My trauma can be transformed. My anger can be transformed. I mean, come on. Exactly, right? You're going to get out of this desert. You're going to come out through the other end stronger, transformed, more yourself than ever, version 2.0. And we love that. Literally perfect summary of everything we've talked about. What a gorgeous reading from my Pisces. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it resonated for you guys. Don't hesitate to like, comment, subscribe, share with your friends. Those are all free ways to support my work. Thank you so much for those of you who take the time to do that. Thank you for being here, for tuning in. Until my next video, I'm sending you so much good vibes and keep navigating the waves of your soul. Bye!